any speed.
And a most gracious good afternoon, or evening, or morning, or wherever it is in this known universe. I'm Charles Phoenix, and this is Postcardland. Greetings from Southern California, my latest big retro slideshow extravaganza, and I'm very excited you're here. If you are a regular to my online slideshows, I want to say thank you for your continued support. Very much appreciated. If you are a newcomer, welcome. We're going to have fun. I'm going to inspire your imagination and make your spirit soar, because we together are going to celebrate classic and kitschy American life and style, this time all Southern California, in the realm of the world of postcard images. And how much do we love postcards? By the way, I started collecting postcards way before I started collecting other people's old slides, and that was already 30 years ago. So I must have started collecting old postcards like 40 years ago. But I will say, I got a big collection going, but the minute I found other people's old slides, I stopped collecting postcards. So, what a thrill it has been for me to kind of go back and revisit some of these images that many of these images that you just don't find in mom and pop photography. So with that said, welcome to this wondrous tour of Southern California postcards. Our first is this: the heart and soul, centerpiece and crowning touch of downtown Los Angeles, the beautiful 1926 City Hall, the freeway there in the foreground, the freeway. Don't you just love the words free and way together? I know. I love to say it as much as possible. And of course, there on the side is a 1949 Buick Roadmaster, also known in its day as the Road Smasher and the Road Masher. And as you can see crystal clearly, it is trying to make best friends with a Queen Anne palm. Don't you love palm trees? Oh, I know. Well, actually, oops, they're not trees. They're grasses. Palms, they should just be called palm grass. Like, oh, look at that gorgeous palm grass. Or look at those palm grasses. Palm trees, wrong. I was scolded. And of all places, Palm Springs. I know. Anyway, by the way, I just love how the photographer got that street sign, the arrow one, like a dead end kind of sign there right in the middle. And of course, the billboard on the light side saying, on the right side, I meant saying stay on the light side. Well, we always keep it on the light side because the mood is up. And the standard of living is flying high. High is this, the high rise, the freeway high rise. So yes, ladies and gentlemen, this really is among the, if not the most significant crossroads of the entire modern universe. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, this is where four freeways come together in downtown Los Angeles, just as they have since 1949. The San Bernardino Freeway, the Hollywood Freeway, the Harbor Freeway, and the Pasadena Freeway. So that's the 110 meets the 10 meets the 101. Whoa, I know. It's a lot, but it is absolutely in every way a masterpiece, a modern marvel of the mid-century era, and it is still miraculously there to this day. The view up above is this. And did I just say, by the way, it is the prototype for all that followed? Look, what a masterpiece. It's like art, you guys. Those curves, those straight lines, everything about it is true and divine perfection. So every time that you are in Los Angeles and you ride on one of the four levels of it, yeah, I want you to just have an awe moment there, because you are right there in the middle of cutting edge technology that works to this day, because this highway high rise, freeway four stack is virtually unchanged. The freeway continues. Look at those whooshing lines of all those taillights going south on the Pasadena Freeway. South on the Pasadena Freeway, right down into the valley of downtown Los Angeles. On your left, what do we see? Oh, in the background, yeah, of course, the City Hall. How much do we love it? I know, where do we begin? Anyway, but we're not talking about the freeway right now. We're not talking about City Hall right now. We are talking about the centerpiece and crowning touch of this particular image, and that is the neon of old Chinatown. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, I love to be a tourist in my own town. I love to experience, well, as many places and as many spaces as often as possible. And one of my favorites is old Chinatown. It has been there since 1938. And Sincere Gifts closed about 8 years ago there on the right, but a lot of it, some of it, is still intact. You can still get the essence of it. It's a kind of one of those places that I really love, a layers of time kind of place where you get there and you go like, what decade are we in? Anyway, I highly invite you. Yeah, no, I'm not high. I may be acting like I am, but I'm not. It's been a while. Anyway, what I was going to say is highly invite you to actually go down to Old Chinatown, the Central Plaza. If you want to go there, and hang out with a lot of people, they have a lot of events there. Just go on Chinatown.com. And if you don't, you can go down there, and it's kind of, not that many people go there anymore, but it's really an interesting place to explore. It's very colorful. It's very spectacular. And see on the upper left there's that kind of street. You can see that light. Well, there's no light in it, but that light fixture kind of hanging down on the upper left there with those kind of dragon flames there. It's still there. It is still there. So I just love to kind of see what's left, how things evolve. It's so interesting, I know. But there are tons of lanterns hanging up there. But anyway, at the center of it all is this, ladies and gentlemen. The Golden Pagoda, the crowning touch, 1941. This restaurant and cocktail lounge was built there, and I don't know about you, but I absolutely love it. Yes, it is still standing. However, it is not in use. I'm hoping for the day that it gets reinvented and restored is really what it needs. A lot of that neon is still there and everything, and you go there, you will see this, the Golden Pagoda. Most recently, and for the last several decades, it has been called Hop Louie. I ate there many times. I hosted many people there, and it was always so wonderful. And when they closed, about, 6 years ago now, I hosted the Last Supper there. And let's just hope that it comes back again, because it is something unique in all the realm of the known universe, and we might as well get it out in the open. Really, because of the pagoda itself, it's the most spectacular Chinese restaurant ever built. Oh, and by the way, I'll never forget the one time I went in there and I said to the lady, I said, I should tell you first, in the restaurant, there's actually only one booth that's in the pagoda. So you walk in the restaurant, the bar is to the left, and you go upstairs and where this Chinese modern dining room is. It's like Lucy and Ethel would eat there. Anyway, I said to the lady there, the hostess, I said, how many people can you seat at the one booth in the pagoda? And it's the second floor there where the lights are on inside. And she looked me up and down and she said, 8 heavyset people. I'm like, oh, alrighty then. I wish this was the inside. It does look similar to this, but this is the Chungking Cafe, ladies and gentlemen, in Anaheim. Yes, built in 1961. I don't know about you, but first of all, I love Chinese modern. I love it. And there's not enough of it. Chinese modern furniture of the mid-century era is so rare. But anyway, I love the color palette. It's so spectacular. Red and jade green and turquoise. I mean, just savor that color theory. Savor that color palette. And how much do we love lanterns hanging there? The curve of the bar, the padding of the bar, the upholstery of the bar, that tuck and roll, those square booths. I mean, not booths, stools. What am I saying? Square, I'm sure the restaurant has booths. But anyway, we're not talking about booths right now. How often do you talk about booths? Don't you love just saying booth? Booths. Yeah, sorry, I'm like, I lost my mind a second saying booths. Enough with booths already. Booth, singular, booths, plural. I know. Anyway, and those gongs that are there, like they're going to have the gong show being filmed there anytime. That bonsai as the crowning touch and centerpiece behind that cash register. I love it, and I'm sure you do too. Speaking of love it, I love a parade. I love parades. I love festivals. I love celebrations of cultures, and I love the continuation of it all. This is the Nisai parade in Little Tokyo. And by the way, Little Tokyo, you guys, is a fantastic area in Southern California right now. It's one of my favorite places to go and stroll around in the evening, in the daytime. Little Tokyo has been there for a long time. The Nisai Parade happens in August. It started in 1934, and Little Tokyo, you guys, is so on it right now. It's really happening, really in full bloom. There are so many little stores and shops and little restaurants and cafes and bars and interesting places for you just to kind of look and wander and duck into. I do recommend, two of my favorite places there are, there's Bunkado. I know, Bunkado, that's the name of the store. It's like a Japanese gift shop, and they've been there since the 40s. And you have to make sure to go upstairs because all the great grandpa's like plein air paintings are displayed upstairs, and he was amazing. So it's kind of a layers of time kind of place, and I love those kind of places. I love the heritage businesses, the mom and pop shops that have been there forever. But the ultimate one in all of Little Tokyo is Fugetsudo. That's the 114-year-old rice candy shop. So it's an old candy store, you guys, where they make rice candy. The same family for 114 years. I mean, walk in the door and you are going to hear the angels singing because this is special. Yeah, talk about layers of time, talk about heritage, talk about cultural, talk about important, talk about depth of soul and character and heart more than anything, and community. Bunkado, yes, that's the gift shop. But Fugetsudo, get some rice candy, you guys. It is absolutely a spiritual, religious experience of wonderment and sweetness because it's so delicious and everything. So while you're downtown, you've gone to Chinatown, you're going to go to Little Tokyo, and then you can go to Alvera Street. Where do we begin to behold the glory of how much we all love Alvera Street? Oh, yes, we do. Oh, yes, we do. I love Alvera Street so much. I go there as often as possible, but I have to admit it has been a while. With the City Hall as the dramatic backdrop, you can see it right there. This is one, well, there's kind of twin promenades with these stalls in the middle. It's LA's oldest street, you guys, Alvera Street. Anywhere else they would call it Old Town, but in LA it's called Alvera Street. It could be called Old Town Los Angeles. It is the oldest part of old downtown Los Angeles. It has been a pedestrian mall done in the Mexican motif since 1930. So this is a time-honored attraction. The best time to go there is lunchtime. It is kind of a lunchy daytime place. And again, shops and stores and little boutiques and layers of time and artifacts. And there's this historic mural there that you got to see. And there's all kinds of interesting things. And of course, I do recommend my two favorite places to eat there are La Luz del Dia, which is on the south side by the plaza, and on the north side, Salito Lindo, where they have been perfecting the taquito recipe since the year of 1934. So good, you guys. I know. Don't you love that lady there wearing her bullet bra and her big hairdo and her pot de soie purse with pumps to match, and her best friend there wearing a very smartly fitted and flared at the skirt line, a double-breasted coat dress of what looks to be like a gray flannel. Very fashionable, isn't it? I know. And I love those sombreros there and all this stuff. Oh, they have. It's amazing. It's amazing. So this is one of the restaurants in the middle. This is the El Paseo Inn. It is one of the oldest restaurants in all of Los Angeles since 1930. They claim to have one of the oldest bars. It is still there. I have to admit, I have never eaten there, and I'm glad that I haven't because there's always something more to do in this world. You can't do it all, and you got to have things to look forward to at all times. Very important. And I look forward to going to the El Paseo Inn. This picture was taken probably about, it looks like, I'm going to say late 1950s. I will tell you that hostess there in that embroidered gown, dress, absolutely spellbinding, hypnotizing, and mesmerizing. Whoa. I know. And I will tell you, there is a store on Alvera Street that still sells those exact dresses, ladies or gentlemen, whoever wants to wear it. It is absolutely gorgeous, and you are going to wear it and be the belle of the ball. Also, I love the checkerboard tablecloths so much. I know. And that lady in the yellow coat, isn't she something, wearing the coat on her shoulders like she has a slight chill? Well, she's sitting outside on the patio because it's patio dining. And then her two friends and the server there, we used to call them waitresses and waiters, but we don't anymore. The server with her apron and what looks to be like an accordion pleated skirt, which you do not see accordion pleated skirts that much anymore. Her smart little sensible sandal, and those you can get, there's a store on Beverly. Why am I blanking on the name right now that sells those reproductions, and they're so amazing, you guys, so amazing. Oh, it's coming to me. Anyway, and the flower in her hair, just love it. But the pitcher, you guys, the ceramic pitcher in her hand, that is one of those round water pitchers. They are a California classic, California pottery. Gotta love it. Speaking of downtown, here we are now. Coming up on your left. Well, let's start on the left. Go down the street. The Dentist, Silverwoods. That's where you bought afternoon, daytime sportswear and suitings, ladies and gentlemen. Desmond, same thing. That was casual clothes and dressy clothes for daytime. Both of those stores. The Palace Theater has 2 blade signs. Yeah, this is what these up and down signs are called. And this is Broadway, by the way, you guys. And I will tell you, those Palace signs are still there. Coming up the other side of the street, Bullock's was a big department store. It's in the yellow letters down there, you can see. Leroy's, I believe, was a jeweler. Whoa, a jeweler. I know, Leroy, the king, that's what that means. Anyway, I know, you probably know that. Crest was a 5 and dime store, like the 99-cent store of its day. The Los Angeles Theater. Swelldom. There's a store called Swelldom. I don't know about you, but I just love it. Where are you guys going? We're going to Swelldom. Or do you say the Swelldom? I don't know. I'm feeling Swelldom, going to the Swelldom, and I'll feel even better when I get to the Swelldom. And then, of course, I love on the upper right there, Hartfield's, written out in your favorite lesbian aunt's handwriting. Gorgeous, isn't that? And it is a dress shop, by the way. Oh, there's a Leeds shoe store there as well. Leeds shoe store. Anyway, you guys, look at the glow, the ambiance, the richness, the flavor, the flair, the color, the electrifying energy of neon. I know. It's absolutely spectacular. Oh, here is, well, basically, this is kind of the old centerpiece of downtown Los Angeles. This is Pershing Square. I believe Pershing Square was laid out in 1869. Yes, and here it is in its 1951 iteration. It's a word I've never even said, iteration. I mean, sometimes you just surprise yourself and use a word you've never used. I don't know why I've never said iteration. I just never have. But anyway, yes, on your left there is, yeah, Pershing Square, you guys. This is a park. You can see. It doesn't look like that anymore, but the Biltmore Hotel on the left there, built in the 1920s, is still there. Very glamorama, you guys. It's very nice. And you know what's interesting about the Biltmore Hotel, seriously, guys? Seriously, is that in 1940, this woman, I believe she was a buyer for a lingerie shop. She came from another state, I don't know where, but her name was Thelma Becker. And she checked in 1940 and never checked out until, well, she died in 2004. She lived there for 64 years. She lived to be like 90-something. She loved downtown so much. She loved the hotel so much. She said, I'm never leaving. I'm never going to check out. And, well, she lived the rest of her entire life there. Can you believe it? 64 years living at the Biltmore? I know. So, by the way, I will tell you that below that big grass lawn and those twin fountains blowing in the breeze is, at the time, built in 1951, the world's largest parking garage. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, for 2,000 cars. And because there were so many people down there, they had a postcard rack in the gift shop. Of course, there were postcard racks everywhere, you guys, back in the day. I mean, even the supermarket. So, yeah, postcards started like in the 1870s or whatever. I mean, postcards. Where do we begin? Oh, what's going on here? I don't know. Never mind. I got distracted for a second. I'm terribly sorry. But what I was going to say was, you guys, this is the only slide in the whole show today. I had to include it because it was taken, it said Pershing Square, downtown, garage. And so I love the way all of these men are dressed. They have sport coats, they have dress slacks, sport coats of woolen, and slacks of woolen, and white shirts and ties, very poised, proper, and dignified for afternoon. Then there's 2 guys there that have their casual shirt collars out over their blazer collars. Don't you love just saying blazer? I know, I'm like, do you ever wear a blazer? Yeah, blazer. If you do wear a blazer, say blazer. Like, talk about blazers. Why not? I know, I'm not talking about the car. Well, if you could drive a blazer and wear a blazer, you could wear a blazer when you drive your blazer. But anyway, we're not talking about driving blazers right now. We're talking about postcards. And on that rack, you see the rocky shore of Southern California. You see the Chinese Theater. You see another seashore there with waves crashing. Down below, you see Hollywood Boulevard on Christmas. And you see the shot with the yellow in the middle there. That is the Chinese Theater. This is that postcard right now. On those footprints, which, by the way, the footprints at the Chinese Theater in Hollywood have been there since the year the theater opened, 1927. According to the legend, one of the movie stars of the day, Norma Talmadge, accidentally stepped into some wet cement, and voila, a world-class, world-famous, I should say, tradition was born in having celebrities put their hand and footprints in cement outside the Chinese theater. Grauman's Chinese theater. It's no longer called Grauman's, but anyway, it is still there. The theater is still there, as are I think they switch out the footprints and everything. You're not going to go there and see May Robson. No one knows who she is anymore. Esther Williams was a famous movie star who swam in all of her movies. She was like a swimming star in movies. They're amazing. I mean, well, they're interesting. They're colorful. Watch them. Van Johnson is someone who was a musical star in the movies. And I only know of Van Johnson because watching I Love Lucy. So there's a lot of I Love Lucy. I Love Lucy really was a great education for me. But anyway, that is the postcard that we just saw there. Since we're there, we might as well see the dramatic exterior of this, the most famous theater in the entire world. Grauman's Chinese Theater. Here it is in, I think Prince Valiant is the movie from 1954. And it is a landmark extravaganza of the highest order. You can still visit it. You could go there right now. And it doesn't say CinemaScope anymore out front, but virtually it is there in, quite well-preserved condition. And I highly recommend it. You have not done Hollywood, you have not done Los Angeles until you have gone to Grauman's Chinese Theater. Yes, the iconic. Uh-oh, I'm spittling now. Hold on. We better stop. Okay, Hollywood Boulevard, our tour continues. This looks like it's 1962 because The Wonderful World of the Brothers Grimm was a 1962 motion picture. You can see it is in Cinerama there, and how much do we love anything in Cinerama? That's super extra widescreen. But I just love this nighttime shot. I love the way those street lights lead us down the avenue all the way to the Roosevelt Hotel. I love the Have a Coke. Coca-Cola is so delicious. I try not to drink it because I fear addiction, because it is so, so, so delicious. The taillights on the cars, again, the color theory, all that mix and mingle of all that signage and the neon. It's so exciting and so warm and rich and inviting, isn't it? I know. On the corner there of Hollywood and Vine, another one of the most famous intersections in the world, very famous in its day. This is Hody's Coffee Shop, a chain of 8 family restaurants, as you can see there. It says special children's menu, and I don't know about you, but I am not afraid of clowns. But boy, oh boy, have they evolved into something that collectively as a society, we all think we don't like, nor do we want to see. But anyway, back in the day, they were considered whimsical and fun. So things change, I guess. Well, no, not I guess, I know. Please, nothing ever stays the same. Nothing stays the same. Nothing. Not even a rock. Anyway, but what I love about this billboard, you guys, the billboard always changed. I mean, this billboard was probably only up there for 6 months or 5 months or 3 months, who knows? But anyway, it looks like it's about it's early 60s. There's a 61 Chevy there. But anyway, the beach ball nose of his, and don't you love beach balls? I know. The beach ball nose spun around, you guys. And I love the happy writing, the way it says Hody's there and everything. And of course, the Hotel Knickerbocker in the background, but we're not talking about the Hotel Knickerbocker anymore. We are talking about another view of Hody's. There it is on the lower left. You can see the OD there. That's the corner of Hody's. This is Hollywood and Vine, and you know it's Hollywood and Vine because on the Broadway department store building, it says Hollywood and Vine. And the most perfect mid-century script ever. It is the perfect version of what I often call your grandmother's handwriting, or in this case, this is a little hipper than your grandmother's handwriting. So then I would say your favorite lesbian aunt's handwriting. I mean, it's just so, I know. I mean, isn't it? It's just, there's something so perfect about it. Look at just how happy it is. Can you write like that? Look at the V on Vine, like it goes up a little higher on one side, and the way that the E dips down a little, just to give you a little oomph at the end. This has oomph in the beginning, middle, and end. That is a masterpiece of signage. Unfortunately, no longer there at that location, nor is the American Airlines ticket office. But I will tell you what is there at that intersection of Hollywood and Vine right now to this day. And that is right up the street there, just a half a block or so, maybe a bit more, is that, ladies and gentlemen, one of the most underrated mid-century modern buildings in the history of mid-century modernity. That is, you are looking at the Capitol Records building. Yes, it's round. And it appears today, right now, exactly as you see it there. As a matter of fact, you could go there right now. They probably wouldn't let you in the door, but you could go there. And it is quite spectacular in every way, and a true miracle that it is still standing. Now we come down the street. This is the intersection of Sunset and Vine in Hollywood. This is Radio City. This is the hub of the entertainment industry starting in the 30s and the 40s and the early 50s. On your left, we have Wallach's Music City. That was a record store. Up the street from there, we have, there's, you can't see it, but Capitol Records is there. This is before they built their building up the street. We got Coffee Dan's. We got the American Broadcasting Company. It says ABC in broad letters. That's ABC, American Broadcasting Company. Oh, sorry, I just said that. Anyway, up on the Broadway department store. Okay, I better calm down because I love all this. No, I know. The Broadway. It says the Broadway Hollywood. So the Broadway was a department store here in Southern California. There were many of them, long gone. Macy's took them over. Anyway, I know Macy's, but we're not talking about that right now. But you guys, if you watched I Love Lucy, if you're familiar with it, when they went to the Hollywood episodes, the Broadway Hollywood is in the background of their Hollywood episodes. You see that sign in the background out the window. So look for it on I Love Lucy. Across the street there, the Miller billboard. Coming down the street on the right, NBC Radio City in Hollywood. And I don't know, I just love all the cars. We love all the cars, like that black 1948 Packard convertible there. Very moody, isn't it? I know. But you know what I really love about this postcard is the back of that park bench on the lower right says Radio City Motel, and here it is. Yes, I had a postcard of it approved by all motorists. Well, alrighty then. It is a courtyard bungalow, which looks to be like it's a sixplex, but it's got to be more than that. Anyway, I will tell you, this is, by the way, a linen postcard. Most of the postcards we are looking at are not linen. They are photo postcards, chrome postcards as they call them. But anyway, I just had to include this one because it was advertised on the back of the park bench, and here we are there. I will tell you, this little setup of these courtyard little setups are totally classic. This is total classic, like 1940s, 1930s, 40s, Southern California. A lot of apartment buildings look like this. There are many still standing, especially like around Lakewood and Long Beach and that area. You're going to find a ton of them. But we're not talking about Lakewood and Long Beach yet. We're talking about you want to stay somewhere near Hollywood. How about, this is where I recommend the Safari Hotel, you guys. Motor Hotel. Actually, now they just gave up and call it a motel. The finest motor hotel in the San Fernando Valley. So what's the miracle of the Safari Hotel, you guys? It is still standing there, and it is basically the best place to stay if you are anywhere near Hollywood and need to be near Hollywood. This is the best place to stay for the money. It's very serene, the area. It's super chill. The place is in great condition. The big giant neon sign is all aglow. It looks exactly like that, only 1,000 times better. Even though we love this rendering, the motel itself right now, it is exactly what you're looking at here, and it's it's really maybe the best preserved motel, 50s motel in all of Southern California. The swimming pool is still there, and it is totally happening. So next time, fine, you wanted it to be a little more tiki. Well, how about the Kona Kai in Anaheim? Yes, just blocks from Disneyland. I love the rock roof. I love all the lighting, the tiki torches, the neon sign, the font of Kona Kai. That seahorse on the little gate there, I'm not sure what the chain link fence is doing there, but at least it allows us the view in to that green lit swimming pool. I love the little pagoda there, sitting in the middle there. And of course, the giant tiki there on your left. Probably the official greeter of the whole property. Unfortunately, no longer standing. Oh, and the tiki torch on top of the sign, too. I know. Okay, fine. You wanted something a little more utilitarian. How about this? The Imperial, oh no, this is on Imperial Highway in Inglewood. I love it. The Sands Motel. The in blue, Sands in orange, Motel in yellow. And you know those pink arrows are chasing. They go beep, 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 beep. I know. Don't you love it? Yeah, that mint green stucco building there. I don't know what's going on around the pool. I don't know who decided to take the picture at night. There's a couple over there, looking at the couple over there, probably wondering why these little girls have like 8 different bottles of soda pop. I know, it's just so random, such a random, abstract kind of scene that is going to promote the Sands Hotel. Okay, fine, you wanted to go to Laguna Beach. How about this, the Laguna Riviera? And I love the swimming pool. It's very buttoned up and goes straight on this side and very freeform on the other. I know, there are so many things that I love about this slide. With the American flag as the crowning touch, I love that sun trap patio roof line there. It's basically a grid of wood, and depending on the time of day, it will shelter you from the sun or give you just a big plaid shadow on you. So maybe you can get a plaid suntan. I love the umbrellas, the striped one with a fringe. How much do we love a fringed patio poolside umbrella? And you can see the other one there. It probably matches on the top. The underside, as many of them were back in the day, had a radical floral print. And how much do we all love a floral print? There's that webbed patio furniture there. You can see one on the left. I love all the people. I love the, in case somebody, the Lifesaver. Yeah, the Lifesaver. There's 2 of them. The V-beams. The V-beams, you guys. And most of all, I love they've added kind of a tiki hut touch with those palm fronds across that one beam over there coming down. Oh, you want palm fronds? Fine. Here's some palm fronds for you. This is the Newport Dunes tram in Newport Beach at Newport Dunes. Yes, and it's like a tiki shack. It's like 3-4 tiki shacks and a train had a baby. It really is. I love it so much. And the color theory on the little train, that forest green, the red, and the yellow is perfect. And of course, the little thatched roofs are perfect in every way. And it reminds us the world needs more thatched roofs. And the fact that every one of those 3 train cars has looks like probably 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 tikis on it. I mean, this is the tiki tram. Please, I'm begging somebody, redo this. This needs to be redone. How much would we all love just running around in this? I know. And that tiki shack there, I don't know if that's where they sell you the ticket, probably. But there's a big tiki looking at you there. Oh, fine. You wanted a backyard, big giant train. Fine. Be that way. This is the backyard of Ward Kimball. Ward Kimball was one of Walt Disney's 9 old men. And this is his Grizzly Flats Railroad. It was in operation at his home in San Gabriel from 1942 to 2006. And I have to say that I went there in about 2000 when I was writing my Southern California in the 50s book. And I told him, I said, Ward, I have to come over and see your train. I have to meet you because I have to include your train in my Southern California in the 50s book, because my book would not be complete without it. And he invited me over and he showed me around. He had this massive collection of toys, antique toys. And I have to say, he was very frail. And I believe that I was the last person that ever got the royal tour of his entire collection, including the train, which now, by the way, is on display, thank goodness, at the Orange Empire Railway Museum in Paris, California, not Paris, France, Paris, California, which is out beyond Riverside. If you are ever in the vicinity or need something to do on a Sunday afternoon, I cannot recommend it enough. The Orange Empire Railway Museum. They have the old red cars, the street cars that used to go around county to county around Southern California. They have those. They have the old streetcars from downtown Los Angeles that were there in the 40s and 50s, 30s, 40s, 50s. Unbelievable. That and more galore. So anyway, we could go on and on and on, but I just have to say what an honor it was. Thank you, Ward Kimball, for being so generous to invite me into your home. By the way, if you love vintage Disney stuff, you may not know that Ward Kimball, one of the 9 old men of Disney, he and some of his cronies at Disney made albums of their band, Firehouse 5 plus 2. I think was the name of their band, and they used to perform at Disneyland. And they, there's albums, so you can just go on YouTube and listen if you want to, but I highly recommend Firehouse 5+2. It's Dixieland. It's amazing. We love it. Anyway, okay, I better calm down for a second. You guys, I mean, I'll tell you what really attracted me to this postcard. Not the fact that people are dressed up like hobos, even though I will have to say the bright colored patches on the black is quite stunning. It is the color theory. I mean, the color, that afternoon perfect light of the reflection of the sky on this Newport Beach water there. It's just so pretty. This is this tramp steamer parade, or it's a parade where this is the tramp steamer entry. I guess it's the boat parade, and they weren't all the tramp steamers, but this one was. But the other thing that attracted to me, I love flowers, what am I saying? Flags, oh dear. Is that one of those signs of like early onset when you start, you flipping words around in your brain? Oh dear. Anyway, I love flying flags, and there are some pennants. It looks like they're rags though, now that I look closer. But I also love, yes, the blue of the water, the red and white stripe of the boat, and that yellow sign, and the unexpected color here that really rounds out the appeal of the color palette here is that lavender, that really bright violet lavender with the red, with the white, with the blue, with the yellow. I mean, you guys, when I'm looking at these pictures, I'm looking at everything. I am a very, very visual person. So I'm taking it all in. The boats in the background, those homes there. I mean, I love it all. Speaking of loving it all, how much do we love this? This is the Lobster House, George V. Castagnola Seafoods, fish and chips. I love the little add-on fish and chip sign. And of course, the separate standing liquor, wine, and beer. They're going to sell you seafood. They're going to sell you wine and beer to wash it down with. This is Santa Barbara. And there's so much going on here. The signage is fantastic. I love my favorite part of the sign is where it says retail seafood. Like, you don't want to come here for wholesale seafood. By the way, they've got a giant anchor there, a big ship wheel. How much do we love a big ship wheel? How much do we love a big anchor? How much do we love a stop sign that has a black and white striped post? I know, but that's not the crowning touch. It's the guy cooking lobsters out on a grill out front of the establishment. I mean, take me there right now and sign me up. Get me some drawn butter and a big lobster and a bib. And let's all have a lobster party. Wouldn't that be fun? I know I love lobster so much, though I hardly ever eat it. But I'm thinking now I'm inspired. Oh, and I bet I know where I could get it, you guys. Redondo Beach Pier. I love this. Fisherman's Village, Shops, Restaurant, Hudson's Bay Company, California Incorporated. Gifts, fine china. Oh, fine china. I know, I was just having a conversation about fine china last night. Fine china. Do you ever talk about fine china? I know. Anyway, this is Redondo Pier, and it's still there, you guys. I mean, that sign, that incredible neon sign is gone now. But what is still there is kind of that, well, not the Hawaiian shop. I wish it were on the right there. Not the guy walking with his eggshell-colored blazer, white shirt, tie, and what is a very rare shade of a very civilized, well, let's just call it what it is. Pumpkin spice pants. I know. Anyway, so you guys, though, what we're loving is Old Tony's on the pier. It is a restaurant there, that kind of flying saucer with a shake roof there. That's the bar of Old Tony's on the pier. It is still there exactly like that. You can go into this restaurant right now. It is a time-honored classic. It's been there 72 years. It is a party there every night. It's on the pier, so they slide open the sliding glass doors when the weather is appropriate, and like the waves are crashing right beside you. And I swear, if you have too many of their specialties at the house, the Mai Tai, you could fall right out the window and right into the ocean. You could. But anyway, yeah, again, I love to show you places that you can actually go to now. And Old Tony's on the pier is definitely one of those places. Go and just plan to take some time dining, have some drinks, have a good old time, and bask in the glory of the layers of the time of it all. It is a rare, rare restaurant these days. It is layered with stuff inside. There's all kinds of things to fascinate you and amuse you and entertain you. Just the whole scene. It's very vintage, very time capsule, it's like a time warp. And I'm always in search of a time warp and a treasure, or a treasure that's a time warp, or a time warp that's a treasure, or whatever, or a treasure or a time warp. Okay, you guys, speaking of places that you can still go. Sorry, I gotta calm down a minute. I better feast your senses on whoever wrote that word greetings, again, in your favorite lesbian aunt's handwriting. Anthony's Fish Grotto, an institution in San Diego. Over the years, I believe they've had about 4 restaurants. Currently, they have 1 left. It's got to be their best ever. It's the one in La Mesa. That is a neighborhood in San Diego. Or maybe it's a different city. I guess it is. But anyway, it's right by San Diego. La Mesa, Anthony's Fish Grotto, you guys. You enter, it's not pictured here. You enter through a giant clamshell. It's been there since 1962. It is a spectacular restaurant. Definitely worth. It is a destination location. You gotta go, you gotta go, you gotta go. Anthony's Fish Grotto. I mean, the beginning is walking through the giant clamshell. You walk in the door. It is mid-century modern, floor-to-ceiling glass overlooking like a lake with a big fountain. I mean, what restaurant has a lake with a big fountain? I know, actually, it's the old city water reservoir. Reservoir? Do you say reservoir or reservoir? Are you French? Anyway, the reservoir. But anyway, it's like this whole world. You have indoor, outdoor seating. There's bocce ball court, and you know it's so fun to go there on a Sunday and like eat and then play bocce ball or whatever. Also, sorry, I'm a little choked up because it's really special. They have the most beautiful giant indoor Italian tile mosaic that has been there since 1962. And it's of Neptune and the underwater world. It is worth a trip there just to see that. Yes, Anthony's Fish Grotto. Oh, Marineland. Again, I love that script, don't you? Very like mid-century casual. Yes, I love it. Greetings from Marineland of the Pacific. There you can see it. Marineland was in Palos Verdes from 1954 to 1987. And anyway, I remember going there as a kid. I remember more than anything, they had the Marineland boat ride, and they would take you out on a boat into the ocean. I remember doing that. I love boat rides. So yeah, totally love riding on a boat. But anyway, yeah, you see here up above is one of the tanks where I know it's very controversial now. Then we weren't quite as evolved as a society to realize it was maybe not the best thing for the animals. But let's not get into that. Let's talk about the aquarium, as I call it, the oceanarium, as they called it. That is those ramps and everything. It's so mid-century modern. I just remember as a child thinking it was such a striking structure, and it was. And that coral accent paint. The world needs more coral accent paint. Okay, you guys, get ready. This is major. This is real. This is deep. The most amazing restaurant ever built in Southern California. We're almost there. I'm going to click in a second. Here it is. Well, okay, feast your eyes on this. Oh, I know. Isn't it? Where do we begin? First of all, this is the Marineland restaurant, built in 1954. You are seeing it in 1954. First of all, seashells on the ceiling. Get out the glue gun. Get out the seashells you've been collecting for 27 years and glue them to the ceiling. Even if your ceiling isn't round. I love the color theory. That aqua as a backdrop of the seashells, they all just pop, don't they? I know. That yellow up there. This was 3 rounds of a structure that came together as one. One was the bar, one was the restaurant, and one was I'm not sure. But anyway, by the way, look at the view, you guys. That is, on a clear day, you can see Catalina Island. That is the most spectacular. Actually, this has to be the most spectacular view restaurant ever built. I mean, I can't think of any other restaurant in the United States that had this unbelievable ocean view. I mean, maybe there was one maybe in Monterey or something, but I don't know. I don't think so. Look at the carpet, very mid-century modern. Those chairs, I know. Pink tablecloths, that lovely pale yellow upholstery on those chairs. The red glasses. The crowning touch. I mean, we could I just take me there right now and sit me down and let's just all bask in the glory of the glow of it all. I see stars. I do. This is the El Cortez, built in the 1920s. It was the highest building in San Diego, the highest building when it was built. I think it was 1927. And then in 1956, it got a makeover. It got that giant neon sign with the word Sky Room there. And it got an exterior elevator, which they say was the first in the world. I mean, I don't know. But anyway, what is most significant about the Sky Room there at the El Cortez, which by the way still stands. However, the elevator on the outside is gone, as is that additional like 50s flared mid-century modern, well, that's the bar up top. The Sky Room there, that is gone now. But anyway, they took it away. But you guys, back in the day, those stars you see there all glittered up like oh, and I'm sure the sign up there, the Sky Room sign, went on and off. Look, the S is a little weaker than the KYROOM. So anyway, yeah, it was probably going off a little sooner, or maybe some of it was burned out. It happens. Nothing stays lit forever. Nothing. But inside, you have this, the Sky Room. First of all, those chairs. Those chairs that are white on the outside and red on the inside. Very mid-century modern. They look like they're just pure foam, don't they? I know. I love the lady in the white dress there, the waiter standing there taking the order, the waiter, the bartender, and his, you know, that's a short little waiter's jacket, that red. But you know what I really love about this picture? More than that very calmly coral-colored stucco. It's probably sparkled. We're just not getting the right in the light spot. Sparkly stucco ceiling. Yeah. They used to put glitter in the stucco on ceilings, you guys. They are so rare to find now, but they are spectacular. Anyway, what I really love about this picture is two kinds of carpet. I mean, like, they couldn't make up their minds, so they did two different kinds. I love it. I have never really seen that. I've never walked in anywhere and seen two totally different carpet patterns coming together as one. But you will have to admit, it is quite eye-catching and quite effective and quite appealing. I know. Speaking of San Diego, yes, we are here at the Town & Country Resort since 1952. And I will tell you, this resort still stands to this day. It has recently had quite a makeover. And they kind of like just took the mid-century heart and soul of it all. And the rusticy, ranchy part, there's a little of that left as well. And they really plussed it into a really nice place. This is where the Tiki Oasis Weekender, Tiki Weekender event happens every year, which is a lot of fun. And I graciously get invited every year to perform one of my big retro slideshows there at Tiki Oasis at the Town & Country Hotel in San Diego. You guys, first of all, I do love that ranchy shake roof there. That very, very, well, it's a classic ranch style building there. All the palm trees, the ping pong table. Don't you love those umbrellas? This time in solids with fringe. The coral one, oh, it's kind of like pulling its skirt up there a little bit. I know. And that guy in the middle, the delivery guy there, he wants to deliver you something so bad. He is just waiting. The people, the young ladies playing ping pong there, and the other lady watching, she's got her jumper on. And one lady playing has a one-piece bathing suit, and the other lady has her pedal push, Toreador, clam digger, capri, pedal pusher pants on. And the lady on the right on the far left is about to jump in. I know. Anyway, I just love this scene. The gourmet room, not there anymore. But anyway, yeah. But the Town & Country is. Oh, so is this the Marine Room? This is a restaurant in La Jolla, you guys. And it is the scariest restaurant there is. Because, you guys, literally, this scene that you are seeing right here, this is the oldest postcard in the entire show today. It's like from the 40s. Don't you love that lady's 40s hat on that lady? The 40s hat on the lady? Yeah, whatever I'm trying to say. You know. I know, the pointy one. Whoa, that is effective. That's intense. Gosh, she looks like she cut part of the drapery away and just fashioned it there quickly, but I don't think she did. But anyway, we're not talking about the drapes of golden. We're not talking about the chairs of orange. We're not talking about the people sitting there, the drinks they're drinking, or anything. We are talking about the tidal wave. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, this is the restaurant where the waves crash right onto the window. To this day, it is still there. I think the glass is literally 6 inches thick. And they book special high tide dinners where literally you will be sitting there and it will splash on the window like, I mean, it is intense. It's the most intense water feature there is in Southern California or anywhere. What other restaurant can you go to and have the wave crash on the water. I mean, on the window. Again, there I go, exchanging words that start with the same letter. This is not good. Anyway, never mind. We're not going to concentrate on that. I just want to say to the Marine Room, thank you for still being there. Thank you for putting up with the pounding surf since 1941, you guys. So yeah, you can totally still go there. Oh, I wish you could still go here. If you could, I would be there right now. The Beachcomber Shop in Newport Beach. When was the last time you saw so many words spelled out in rope? When was the last time you saw anything spelled out in rope? Rope riding. The world needs more rope riding. I mean, we could be here all afternoon, you guys, but it says, come on in. Come in, look, see? Spelled out in rope. This proves to me what I've always known, that you know, the world is a wonderland to discover. It really is. I'm sorry this isn't there, but look at the boat as the entrance. Look at those fashions inside there. I mean, they have something for everybody. We could go on and on and on. I could just step right in there and just bask in the glory of it all, but not until I've had lunch at the Fisherman's Wharf Cafe in San Pedro, California. No longer there. We might as well get it out in the open, but I love this is an exercise in form follows function. The counter there, the booths. Don't you love the orange vinyl? I know. Don't you love naughty wood pine paneling, especially when stained in honey? Yes, that is honey blonde wood paneling, pine wood paneling. And of course, a little darker up above. That looks more like a maple. The beams up above. Form follows function. And of course, as divine decor, as it would be, as it should be, because it's right next to the seashore, you guys. Fish on the wall. Taxidermied fish. Looks like they're, okay, like down the straight row of the counter there, right up above, is like, that kind of scares me though. That looks like just a tail of a marlin. I don't think that's a stingray or anything. Okay, never mind. Let's not concentrate on that. Let's concentrate on the crowning touch and the centerpiece, that little boat wheel right in the middle there on the beam holding the whole restaurant up. I know, speaking of restaurants, speaking of beams, speaking of bars, speaking of seashores, speaking of spectacular, this is the Marlin Club in Catalina, on Catalina Island. You guys, Catalina, 26 miles across the sea. Santa Catalina is waiting for me. Santa Catalina, the island of the Marlin Club. I'm not sure how long this bar has been there. I know this picture was taken in 1957, and I also know it is the only bar in Catalina that is actually, the bar is a piece of a boat. It is also the only bar in Catalina or anywhere else I know that has the most spectacular 1940s fish murals, you guys. I love good modern pop art, and this is it, hand painted. They were there, painted in the 40s, and they remain there to this day, as does the bar, as does those exact bar stools. It is a time capsule extraordinaire. It is worth, if you need a cocktail, if you need a drink, you might as well just get on the Catalina Express and get over there and have a few, and you could spend the night on the sand in front of the seashore if you want. Yes, you can. Live it up a little. Just be wild. Why not? Speaking of being wild, living it up, I'll tell you who was wild and lived it up. Well, actually, let's just start at the beginning here. The Pottery Shack in Laguna Beach. This was a historic landmark, a legendary landmark on PCH there in Laguna Beach. Hold on, I think okay. Sorry. Better take it down a notch a little here, whatever they say. No, everything's fine. We're having a good time, right? I'm just really feeling the spirit of these postcards. The Pottery Shack, an iconic legendary landmark in Laguna Beach on PCH from 1936 to 2004. This was the place that you would go. You can see it right down there. It was the Pottery Shack. They had all kinds of seconds from all the pottery manufacturers in Southern California. And for decades, there were many 20s, 30s, 40s, 50s. California pottery is a whole thing. It's a whole category. It is a wondrous world to explore, to collect. Then this is where you go find the seconds. First of all, we got to talk about, I don't know about you guys, but I love that neon sign. It even has a little TV antenna. I know, the Pottery Shack. I just love it so much. And there's some of the brands they carry. Sorry, my glasses. They didn't quite get the try things, in the right spot. So I have to go like this. Franciscan. Franciscan, Meltlocks, Vernon, Red Wing, Harker. I don't know that brand. And Gifts, Harker Gifts. Anyway, those are some of the brands, the famous, legendary brands of California pottery that you can Google right now. And of course, the greeter, you guys, his name was Eiler Larson. He was a fixture in the community of Laguna Beach between the 40s and the 60s. And he was just always there. Welcome to Laguna Beach. Welcome, welcome. And a fixture, as I said. And so, Eiler Larson, for all the greeting you did, thank you. We appreciated it. You made people feel welcome, and that's important. Why do you think Walmart has a greeter? Welcome to Walmart. I know, because people want to be acknowledged. People do. So anyway, I also remember we went there in about 1968 to the Pottery Shack. I was like 5 years old, and my mother bought a big, giant set of Franciscan dishes. I don't know why I remember the brand name. I was just that kid that would. But anyway, they were in the closet for decades. We used them like once. I have no idea. But I will tell you, even though they were seconds and they were a good deal, I couldn't find a flaw in any one of them. Oh, anyway, speaking of pottery, the Pottery Ranch, Factory Seconds again, another place, this time in Monrovia. Yes, don't you love a city that has via at the end? I know. So yeah, ceramics, dinnerware, gardenware, Pottery Seconds. I love that lady standing there. Well, yes, no, I was going to say sitting, but she's actually standing. This is a very like mid-50s postcard. She's wearing a classic peasant skirt. That's what it's called, the 3 tiers there. I know, and all that pottery. Now, this place lasted up until probably, it's been gone about 20 years, I would say. But it was still there in the 90s because I remembered I used to drive by it all the time because I stored some classic cars in Monrovia, and it was definitely there. So I used to admire that sawtooth sign there, those ranchy ranch letters, that font of Pottery Ranch. Look how Factory is a little kind of drunken and everything. We love all the details. Pottery Corner since 1940. Yeah, I should have noticed that earlier. Speaking of since 1940, Al Jamack since 1937. This was Al, George, and Mac, 3 brothers. Hold on. Okay. 3 brothers that decided to open a coffee shop on San Fernando Road in Glendale. And I don't know about you guys, but I just love Al Jamack. Al, George, and Mac. But what I really love here, you guys, besides this very classic early mid-century building, a lot of glass, you want to see in, you want to see out, but the sign, the way it flares, but the way the coffee shop is tilted. Don't you love that? Don't you love those F's that are reaching up? They are aspirational. They prove to us that just reach and you will touch, but you're never going to touch unless you can reach. Whew. I know. Anyway, yeah, so inside, you guys, oh yeah, here it is. You saw it there in the corner, but oh, this dining room. First of all, let's start with what I hope has glitter on the stucco ceiling, painted a lighter coral shade than that of the vinyl of those semicircular booths. Don't you love circular booths? Semicircular booths are getting rarer by the day. Rare is the day that nowadays you can go into a restaurant and find any place that has semicircular booths. But the other thing is we got to talk about the linoleum floor, those 9x9 tiles. Those are still available, you guys. You can still get those. In Los Angeles, you go to Linoleum City, they have every color under the sun. But they do require a lot of maintenance. They require waxing. And no one's like, you've got to do that. Nobody wants to do that. You can hire people to do that. But, anyway, in that wall, what's going on? That daintily painted wall of like a very like kind of a bluish purplish, well, let's call it what it is. Well, it's not exactly periwinkle, but it's kind of close. If it had a little more pink in it, it would be periwinkle blue. But anyway, I just love the delicacy of all those flowers. I mean, it's like fairy tale-like almost. Not to mention, in the middle of the room as the crowning touch are those planters on posts. Yeah, I know, just overflowing for your pleasure and mine. And of course, those hurricane lamp chandeliers. Gotta love those. Speaking of love, speaking of up and away in your aerial tramway in Palm Springs since 1962. This is a weird postcard, you guys. and one that you'd think you'd find more of, but it's half like illustration of the building and half real photo. Well, fake real photo, fake clouds. I know. So I gotta love it. It's like definitely a composite. And yeah, the fake clouds are the crowning touch. But I just love architectural renderings, don't you? Mid-century ones, I know. And they actually built this building. It's been there since 1962. It looks virtually like this. It is still there to this day, as is the aerial tramway in Palm Springs. And it is the ultimate thrill ride in Southern California, you guys. You cannot do Southern California without going up the aerial tramway. I know, it's amazing. And then, of course, you know what I really love about this more than the tram there that you can see is the tram down below, the parking lot tram that's pulled up there. And it just, you know, they've drawn it in such a way that you can just tell, just by the energy coming from that part of the illustration, that all those people on the tram are happy. They don't mind getting blistered by the sun, the warm sun of Palm Springs. It's just, I just love this architectural rendering. Here is Palm Springs. Greetings from Palm Springs, California. Yes, with the United States flag as the crowning touch up above. You see the centerpiece, the heart, soul, and the there of Palm Springs. That is La Plaza since 1937, ladies and gentlemen. This is where you go to shop and to eat and to, you know, just kind of hang out or whatever. There's little bars and little restaurants, and they're tucked away little shops and galleries. It's really still there, and it looks virtually just like this. Now, what is significant about this, according to shopping center historians, is that this was the first shopping center built in the United States with a parking lot as the centerpiece, because they wanted to show you there's plenty of parking. And you know what? You can always find a parking space here. I mean, you might have to circle a couple times or whatever. You can have Tyler's Burgers there that are delicious. You can go to the little French cafe, Atelier, I believe it's called. A French couple came from France and they said, we don't want to go back. We're going to open a little French cafe, and it's delicious. Also, the Farm is a restaurant there that you have to make reservations. It's really, really spectacular. Also, down below, you see Palm Canyon Drive at dusk. This is the central nervous system, spine, and backbone of old Palm Springs, of now Palm Springs, timeless classic Palm Springs. Palm Springs is a precious place. And it is, well, it's the kind of, well, you know, it's the kind of place that I say tourists, you know, come from all over the world to experience this rare, unique resort community where I tell everyone, you know, you can do 900 things or you can do nothing, and it's all fine. There are so many things to do in Palm Springs, but if you just want to hang out by the pool, no problem. Oh, you didn't want to drive to Palm Springs, you wanted to fly to Palm Springs, fine. This is the Desert Sky Hotel in Palm Springs. It's way no longer there, but it was there probably from the late 40s until like maybe the late 50s. But yeah, it was a fly-in hotel. Like if you had a plane or whatever, they had an airport at the hotel. I mean, where do we begin? I know. Not to mention this glorious, it was a round dining room, not quite as exquisite as the round dining room at Marineland, but nevertheless, I love those rattan chairs, the rattan tables. I love the pink napkins, the blue glasses, and that centerpiece, that wagon wheelie thing with that bird cage hanging there, a rattan bird cage, which is not really a bird cage, but it's a mock wannabe bird cage with a philodendron busting out all over. Absolutely a wonderful, very mid-century California casual centerpiece. I know. And while you're out there in the desert, you guys, Shields Date Garden is a great place to take a date. It's a great place to have a date. It's a great place to buy a date or a whole package full or a case full. They have dates. They grow dates there, you guys. Yeah, dates. You know, dates, nature's caramel. Yeah, those little they're like candy. They are the most candy-like fruit there is. So if you like caramel, but you don't want to have like it because there's too much butter or whatever, or sugar, get a date. Dates are like, well, you know, I don't have to show you what they're shaped like because, you know, also this is the best place in the world to have the local food in Coachella Valley. This is the Date Shake. And by the way, this is about 30 minutes by car from Palm Springs in Indio. I don't think I said this. Also, this is Shields' new date show. Okay, calm down. This is a Shields' new sales room. Oh, I know. This place is still there, you guys. It's been there since 1924. You can go there right now And when you do, the front of it looks exactly like this, except that 1949 Chevrolet, or is that a Pontiac? Station wagon will not be parked there. Maybe, could be, actually. Anyway, but what I was going to say is, it still looks exactly like this. And inside there's a little theater, which is so precious, and they show you, well, the movie's called The Romance and Sex Life of a Date, and they show you like how dates are hybridized. I mean, it is a layers of time-honored, like a living museum experience, you guys. Shields Date Garden in Indio. Go there, go there. Now, out back, when this is probably Mrs. Shields in her garden. This is out back there. It doesn't exactly look like this anymore. All of those rose bushes, I don't think they're not there. This is now a patio area for seating. The bougainvillea, the palm trees, the grove of, oh, I said trees. They're not trees. Sorry. The palms are still there. And you can walk through them, and there's this whole like thing going on. You walk through it's you guys, it's just a very California thing to do. But anyway, I just have to say that in the realm of my imagination, this is how I most imagine my best life to be, and that would be living on a palm grove with a giant rose garden and bougainvilleas framing the rose garden that frame the date palm grove. I just love it. There's just something so powerful about dates. Oh, did I say? No, I didn't say tree again. Okay. And the roses. We don't have enough roses. What happened to all the roses? I think I know. They take a lot of water, a lot of maintenance, and a lot of chemicals. So I think that's why we don't see so many roses anymore. But when you do see a rose, what do? Stop and smell. Sorry. Oh gosh, did I just hiccup? I beg your pardon. I beg your pardon. Anyway, yeah, stop and smell the roses. Okay, you want to go to the date festival? You want to go to the Riverside County Fair? How about all that in one and more galore? It is the Riverside Date Festival. I mean the Riverside County Fair and Date Festival. That happens every year in Feb. I don't say Ruary anymore, just Feb. And this is a tradition that's been going on for, probably 80 years at least in Indio. And there you may or may not these days see people dressed up in Arab dress. There are camels there. I believe they still have the camel races and the ostrich races and the pageant show, which is quite spectacular. So a time-honored tradition, the Date Festival and Riverside County Fair in Indio. While you're out there, you guys, you might as well hang out in Salton Sea for a minute and see the wonders of one of the most bizarre place in all of, well, Salton Sea is in a category all by itself. I mean, there could be a whole show about Salton Sea. Maybe I will one day. But here is the 1963 Salton Bay Yacht Club. So basically, the Salton Sea is a big, long story to tell. But it was this kind of freakish, well, anyway, it's just too much. But you have to look it up. I will say, though, that this does no longer stand there. They thought the Salton Sea was going to become America's best resort and lakeside resort or whatever, a seaside resort. It's not really a sea. Well, it's kind of bizarre. It's just the whole thing, the Salton Sea. But I love this. It looks like a big brimmed sun hat and an accordion and a birdie from badminton had a baby, doesn't it? Yes, this architecture, 1963. Again, I do love a great architectural rendering. I love a gorgeous billboard, I do. The 40th National Orange Show in San Bernardino, March 17th through March 27th. This has got to be, I think it started in 1911. So that would make this the 1951 billboard. Don't you love Little Mr. Orange Man there? I will tell you that the same house, I'm 99% sure the same house that designed Little Mr. Orange Man there, designed Bob's Big Boy. They have the same eyes. I know. And I just love everything about it. The color theory, the shape, that bow tie shape behind Orange Show and everything. Just everything about this billboard is just it proves what great color theory and great graphic design, the power of it. The fact that that orange stands away a little bit as the crowning touch, the cherry on top. I mean, all great art needs relief. All great art needs, a cherry on top. So that is the cherry on top of this. And inside the National Orange Show, you will find the showboat, the golden age of show business. Yes, this is the Riverside County entry. The city of Riverside, city of Riverside, I guess. A showboat with a deck of oranges. So back in the day, different cities, different counties would show off the riches of the citrus industry by making the orange show. It's about oranges out there. And they would make sculptures out of oranges, and you'd walk through this giant, big, giant, massive building, and it would be full of different sculptures made of oranges. I wish there were more postcards of them, but I did manage to find this one. But if you want oranges, you got to go to Farmers Market. Greetings from. Oh, yes, indeed it is. I don't know about you guys, but there's just something so real and honest about these three guys selling citrus at Farmers Market, corner of 3rd and Fairfax in Los Angeles since 1934. Well, it's been there since 1934. I don't know how long they were there. They're no longer there, I can tell you that. But Farmers Market totally still is. I just love the way the gift packs there. I love citrus gift packs, don't you? I know. The bowls stacked up there in case you want to display them. And they virtually have what looks to be every single kind of grapefruit, including, citrus, grapefruit included, those grapefruit right up front. And then look at the giant ones behind. They're like bowling balls. Those are called pomelos, you guys. And you rarely ever see them. I don't think I've ever had one, but I think I'd like to try it. Or, gosh, we should do pomelo bowling. No, we can't. We can't waste food. I don't like wasting food. But anyway, the spotlights and everything, I love the whole thing. Here's another scene at Farmers Market in what looks to be about, judging by the fine style of those two ladies standing there, it looks to be about 1962. This is Lee and Anna Pyatt's fruit stand. And there's a tree growing in the middle of their circular display there outside of their stand. And this was a magnet for tourists back in the day. That tree is no longer there. This is now the site of a really delicious French restaurant in Farmers Market that I highly recommend. So it's outside kind of patio dining. It's really one of my favorite places to go in all of Los Angeles. Farmers Market, and then the restaurant there. There's lots of places to eat, and they still have fruit and vegetables you can buy. The displays don't look like this anymore. There are no longer those carved cocoa heads that have faces on them and everything. The mother-in-law tongue plant there. Those baskets full of fruit, but most of all, those ladies there with their the one lady in that pot de soie black purse, black pot de soie. Pot de soie is a kind of a silk fabric. They used to make purses out of and stuff and shoes. But anyway, yeah, her fitted blue dress there, but those hats, those big bird feather hats. Yeah. Where are those? Someone needs to get those out and wear them to Farmers Market. Speaking of Farmers Market, there's the tower right there with the clock tower of Farmers Market. It is still there to this very day. And I don't know about you, but I absolutely love seeing it every time I go there. I bask in the glory of it. And I hear the angels singing when I pull in the parking lot. Because this is a time-honored attraction in Los Angeles. And it is always, ever evolving as everything is, but it is still a fantastic place just to go and hang out, to get something sweet to eat, something savory to eat, or even better, both, and take food home to go. They also have butcher stands there, they have ice cream stands there, they have fruit stands there, they have gift stands there, they have souvenir shops there, nut shops. Every kind of food you could possibly imagine. I hear a beeping outside. Must be a bulldozer or something. Hopefully they're not coming to bulldoze my place. But anyway, the coral reef, the basket shop. Speaking of baskets, here are baskets right now. That girl up front there looks like, that has her back to us in a sundress, looks like she's holding is that a basket purse or is that a picnic basket? Or both? I don't know. I love the girl next to her with the pink scarf on, an extra large. If it was smaller, we'd call it a kerchief. But it's not. It's big enough to be called a scarf. They're all, speaking of scarves, they're all scarfing down corn on the cob because they are at the La Habra Corn Festival, which happens every year it's happening this year, between October 13th and 15th. La Habra is near Whittier in Orange County. And if you want to go to, hold on one second. If you want to go to the Corn Festival, I want to go to the Corn Festival. I've never been to the Corn Festivals. I love festivals. I love frolic and fun and parades and corn. I know. Anyway, the ghost town, of course, we could not talk about Southern California, you guys, without including the original, world's first all year round theme park extravaganza. Greetings from. I love Ghost Town. I love that font. I know. It's like smoke or ghosty. I know. Knott's Berry Farm, Buena Park, California. Buena Park. Oh, I love Buena. Just saying Buena. Don't you love saying Buena? I know. And it's fine when Park follows it, because then you're reminded of Buena Park, which is where Knott's Berry Farm. Knott's Berry Farm has been going now for 104 years. Yes, Walter Knott and his wife and his children started growing berries on the property in 1920. The roadside berry stand turned into a tea stand, turned into a fried chicken dinner restaurant, which then inspired an entire theme park extravaganza, which still is there to this day, including those stagecoaches. There are 6 of them. They are still there to this day. That train has been there since 1952. You can still ride that train around. I love a time-honored experience. And by the way, when you're there, of course, you have to have the fried chicken dinner. This has to be, well, it's definitely the world's largest and oldest fried chicken dinner restaurant. And it has served more dinners in Southern California than any other restaurant ever of all time. Since 1934. Where do we begin to behold the glory? And this is like the one day they must have been closed. I don't know where everyone is, but it's rather utilitarian, the restaurant. As you can see, it's more fancy now. It is, but you got to go there. Here is, wow, this is not the Knott's Berry Farm fried chicken dinner, because there was never a postcard of it, but this is the fried chicken dinner at a coffee shop called the Witch Stand. And anyway, I don't know about you, but I do love fried chicken. My favorite place to go for fried chicken, well, there are many places, but well, Dinah's Fried Chicken is where I usually go. That's close to me. Close to you. I love that song, Close to You, but we're not talking about that. We're talking about, we can't go by this slide without talking about the garnish. That curl of carrot curls. No longer, they don't exist. They would be in a big bowl of ice. Somebody would sit there with like a carrot curler, and they'd peel off those carrot curls, and they'd sit them in a bowl of ice, and then, they'd put them on the plates with some parsley. Does anywhere put parsley on a plate anymore? And then sliced tomatoes with a piece of, lettuce as a dramatic backdrop. Oh, I love it. It's like a little garden accent there. Garnish. It's called garnish. Oh, garnish. I know. Anyway, fried chicken, delicious. Hody's was, okay, we saw Hody's at Hollywood and Vine. It was a chain. This is the Hody's in North Hollywood. I'm not sure what year it was built. I'm going to guess about 1950. This was after it had kind of a little more of a bright light redo in probably about the late 50s. Plastic backlit signage really became popular okay, I better calm down. Became popular first in about 1958. So they added all that orange and white striping around with the H. I love the H. I love the fact that those 2 giant H's are both different. This is a coffee shop. This is a car service. They have a banquet room. They will serve you in your car. You can walk into the coffee shop. They have a counter. And they have a restaurant. Cocktails. This is a full tilt service eatery where you can get it all. Not to mention, bask in the glory of the glow of that massive signage. Spectacular. Speaking of spectacular signage, the Huddle was also a chain here in Southern California in the 50s and 60s. This was the Huddle in West Covina at the Eastland Shopping Center. I remember it well. No, well, not that well, but I do remember it. It was spectacular. It was probably standing there. I'm going to guess it stood there till about 1984. But it is very Googie. It was done, the building, as you can see. Well, first of all, the sign, I know, it's like paddles. I mean, it's mind-boggling. That color theory, again, those 3 colors, the font, the word restaurant, the word cocktails, and then the building itself. It is it's Arme and Davis. Those are the ultimate Googie architects in Southern California. They may not have invented the Googie style, but they certainly perfected it. This is one of their great buildings, no longer standing, unfortunately. But I wish we had better images of it because it was an extravaganza. And I also say always that their buildings had a lot of inspiration from Frank Lloyd Wright, if you're a Frank Lloyd Wright fan. But they were much more avant-garde and much more over the top and much more colorful and whimsical and doing a lot. And don't you love those stucco awnings fanning out over the semicircle front of the restaurant, overlooking the freeway, by the way, in those Easter egg colors. I know. Speaking of Arme and Davis, this is one of their great masterpieces, still standing. Norm's La Cienega, 1957. It is on La Cienega Boulevard in Los Angeles. You can go there right now. It looks virtually exactly like this right now. This is avant-garde architecture if ever there was. It is absolutely eye-catching as it was intended to be. It is glass, all three sides of glass, so it would glow at night. Indeed it does. And that sign is a beacon that you can see for blocks away. Still there. Still, you can bask in the glory of it all. And don't you want that steak dinner? They still specialize in the steak dinner, but I don't think you get all of this with a steak dinner anymore, especially the glass of tomato juice. Do you say tomato? And look, 2 knives, 2 forks, 1 knife, 2 spoons. This is service. Yeah, it's not quite like this anymore, the food-wise, but they still do have the steak. They do, and you know what? I recommend the breakfast there. Coffee shops, classic coffee shops, you can never go wrong with a breakfast. And they do have steak and eggs for breakfast, and I had it about a year ago, and it was delicious. I know. Speaking of Arme and Davis, this is another one of their classic buildings, unfortunately no longer standing. This is Carolina Pines Jr. I guess you read it already. And I love how the sea is like a moon, don't you? I love those 3 pine trees that match the pine trees in the background there. This was on La Brea near Sunset in Hollywood. Probably there until, well, it actually became another restaurant. They remodeled it. Became the Copper Penny, and I remember it there in the 1980s, but it did not look like this anymore. But I love the lasagna noodle roofline, don't you? And that little lean-to kind of indoor fake patio area there. Again, this is like George Jetson meets Fred Flintstone. The modernity of it, the rock wall of it. It's classic California. And some of the absolute, Arme and Davis did some of the most, I can't even speak, significant architecture ever created in Southern California. Certainly a style that is uniquely Southern California. And this is not an Arme and Davis building, I do not believe, but this is Pix in West Los Angeles, restaurant, coffee shop. Whichever you want it to be, it will be for you. Again, the glass walls, the rock wall, the neon. I love that. Don't you love that diamond edge of the roof line? The whole roof line goes like this. Oh, I know. It's just like in those can lights up there. Just everything about it. It looks like the roof is the same inside as outside. They are blurring the inside from the outside. You're inside when you're out. You're outside when you're in. This is California. Let the sun shine in. Let the sun shine. Let the sun shine in. This epitomizes that. And then I don't know for sure, but I wouldn't doubt it if those, because I never saw this place in person, but the blue waves there went boop, 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 and Pix could have gone like P-I-K-S, like, lit up like that, and then it would be all on at once, and then it would go off. Oh, I know, it's just too much for words. Where do we begin? Nixon's in Whittier. I do not know the architect of this, but we're not talking about the architect right now. We are talking about the fact that Richard Nixon's brother, Donald, was quite the entrepreneur in Whittier, and he had several restaurants. He actually had several restaurants. Not all of them were in Whittier, but in Whittier he had a market, he had a restaurant, and this is a restaurant, a bakery, the family restaurant, you can see it right there, and he had a fast food stand and a drive-through hamburger stand. But you know what I love about this so much, besides this kind of Easter egg palette, that gorgeous medium blue that we do not see enough of in this world today? I love everything about this. This is absolute California casual. It's practically patio style architecture, you guys. And over there, the bakery, and that's a to-go window. You walk up, or maybe it's a drive-up. It might be a drive-up window. Oh, a drive-up window. I love a drive-up window, don't you? I know. Well, we know them well now because we go through them all the time. Yeah, I'll have a bean and cheese burrito. I know. Sorry. It's like I sit here for a long time and I forgot. It's painful. But anyway, worth it though, because of that painter palette background on that family restaurant there. That is the crowning touch. Not to mention that very mid-century frame at the door there, right beside the door there, which, frames whatever their specials are or whatever. I love the webbed patio chairs out front there, for you in case you have to wait or whatever. I know. This is absolutely love. Sorry, it has not been there for decades. Neither has this. This is the Queen's Arms in Encino, you guys. A big, giant themed restaurant extravaganza. Probably the most over-the-top themed restaurant ever built in Southern California. Absolutely among them. Certainly the only one that was this radical medieval theme. It was built in 1956. I don't know how long it stayed there. I'm going to guess it was torn down in probably the mid to the late 70s. But anyway, according to the legend, one of the big specialties of the house was flaming shish kebabs. So who doesn't love a flaming shish kebab? Who doesn't love a flaming anything? I know. I love shish kebabs whether they're flaming or not. Here is the buffet there at, I almost called it Medieval Times. No, Queen's Arms there in Encino. Looks like they have a sneeze guard, which is very, very unusual for those days, that big thing going across. But every kind of meat, I'm sure you can imagine, like mixed with mayonnaise and pulverized, and then decorated. Like every platter is a different food crafting experiential extravaganza. I mean, I'm not sure if this is an art installation or if you were supposed to eat this. But you know what? Somebody needs to make fake versions of this. Yeah, definitely. This is special. This is major. This is real. This is deep. This is like pickled pimentos and black olives and parsley and who knows what else. I see pineapple tops in there, whole tomatoes. I mean, it's all on a bed of ice. So, I mean, can you imagine going there and taking big spoonfuls of this stuff? You know it would be delicious, especially when like heavily slathered on a roll. Wouldn't that be good? I know, it would be. Because fatty pulverized meats are good. They just are, darn it. Okay, and that's no bull. Okay, sorry. I just couldn't resist. The Valley's most exciting place to eat. And that's no bull. That was actually their motto. Eddie Covers. Apparently, this was in Pacoima. And I don't know about you, but this is calling my Western motif, Frontierland loving self. Prime ribs, steaks, chops, bull burgers. I love a bull burger. How long has it been since you've had a bull burger? Barbecue meats and ham and eggs. Where do we begin? I know. And it is quite special. The farmhouse was a beacon. This is the sign for the farmhouse restaurant and the Pottery restaurant. Those were two side-by-side restaurants that were on the 5 freeway, not far from Disneyland and even closer to Knott's Berry Farm. And I can remember passing this on the freeway, like going to Disneyland and stuff, and it boggled my mind every single time because when do you ever see a gigantic, this was huge, a gigantic windmill covered in blue and yellow neon and the word buttery drunken in pink. Isn't it gorgeous? I know. Anyway, I just absolutely this just makes my spirit soar. But it's gone. It's gone. It was there probably, I'm going to guess they probably put this up in like 1955 or something. And it probably came down in probably like late 80s, I'm going to say. Actually, probably early 90s. But anyway, the farmhouse motel. I love the farmhouse. Why is house so drunken? The lettering, I always call it, when letters go like this, I always call it drunken. Anyway, I mean, we could bask in the glory of this for a long time. The scallop roof line on the building, on the sign, refrigerated air, that means air conditioning, of course, free TV and radios. They're really accentuating the FREE. I love a fake horse that has a buggy behind it that is about to drink out of a fake, well, that's probably a real trough, actually, but there's no water in there, only geraniums to add beauty to a place that is already gorgeous. The diamond pane windows, the shake roof, and the used brick chimneys, and right in the middle of everything, you guys, how much are you seriously loving the birdhouse on the roof? This is classic Southern California ranch style architecture. And this is the style of home that I grew up in. So we have a birdhouse on the roof. We've got the used brick chimney. We've got the diamond pane windows. I absolutely love it. Sorry, I'm like, it's all so much. I know. Anyway, in my hometown of Ontario, you guys, this is the Melody Ranch Motel. It is no longer there. The most distinctive feature of the Melody Ranch Motel, as you can see crystal clearly, were the wagon wheel windows. I know. I have only seen wagon wheel windows in one other place. Well, actually two. One was a house in Pasadena, which got bulldozed, but the other is a house in my hometown of Ontario that still stands with the wagon wheel windows. I should post a picture of them. I think I'm going to have to, because online, on my Insta and all that, because you got to see them. But anyway, I went to the Melody Ranch. I talked to the owner and I said, is that your house, like 7 blocks away with the wagon wheel windows? And they were like, this is like 25 years ago. This place is long gone, as I said. But the old lady that was there, who had been there since day one, I mean, she and her husband built the place. She said, no, I couldn't believe it. The contractor that built this place ripped off our idea of the wagon wheel windows and went and built a house for someone with the wagon wheel windows. She got all snooty and everything. I felt bad. But anyway, speaking of ranchy ranch style, how much do we love maple, what I call maple modern, like early American style furniture, you guys? It is so like unloved right now. I mean, tons of it was manufactured in the mid-century era. And now all we want is the mid-century style furniture. But frankly, I might as well get it out in the open. You know what? I'd love a whole house full of this stuff. You just can't find it though. It all got bulldozed. I'm talking about the calico prints. I'm talking about that wallpaper. I'm talking about, I mean, the ruffled couch with the wing back there, that cobbler's bench of a coffee table, very early American classic hutch for all your milk glass and all the other glass that's in there. And I love the table and chairs, you guys, especially because it is set with a half of a grapefruit with a cherry in the middle. How brilliant is that on a turquoise plate? I love the mallard duck there, the fake mallard that's like waiting for it. I know, where do we begin? And of course, don't you love the fact that they like are trying to pretend they're on water? That blue carpet is just that sculptured pile, they called that, a sculptured pile carpet, is quite stunning. Oh, and the fruit basket on the hutch there, and that chafing dish, that copper chafing dish. I don't like saying chafing dish because it kind of, somehow in my brain, it reminds me of like, I don't even want to know the right words, but chafing and chafing, like chafing is like when your underwear rubs you the wrong way. I'm sorry I had to say it, but chafing dish, that's why I'll never say chafing dish, because yeah. Anyway, I know. Okay, so, oh, you wanted something a little more rustic than early American. Fine, be that way. How about Pinecrest furniture? Yes, made in the lovely high mountaintop town of Idlewild. Have you ever been to Idlewild, you guys? Oh, it's a whole thing. Idlewild, up in the mountains. It's about an hour from Palm Springs, about an hour from Redlands. Anyway, I love this furniture. I love rustic. I love pinecone curtains. I love that wood paneling. I love just the honesty of this furniture. It's so real. I know, it really puts you in touch with nature. It wants you to go collect. It wants you to start collecting pine cones. I know. Yeah, it is absolutely, it's rare to find this kind of furniture. You just do not snap your fingers and boom, it's there. No, you do not. This is small batch, small house, small factory made furniture. I mean, not even a factory, more like a studio. This is really special. If you find it, I mean, maybe it has like a little paper sticker label on the bottom that says Pinecrest, or a brand, even better. I know. Oh, you want some lamps? Fine. How about mirrors lamps? Mirrors, lamps. I believe it was on Ventura Boulevard in the San Fernando Valley. They boasted 10,000 lamps, shades, and fixtures for your pleasure and mine. And I don't know about you, but I love a showroom of lamps. These days, you do not see many showrooms of lamps, but occasionally you'll go by a chandelier shop. And how much do we love chandelier shops, you guys? I mean, only at night. You can only drive by a chandelier or a lamp shop at night, because that's when they are all aglow. And I'm like a bee to honey, aren't you? I know. Absolutely gorgeous. Yeah, I know, and those glass walls. I mean, that is the epitome of mid-century modern, more than anything, glass walls. That is the ultimate defining touch, defining detail of mid-century. But we're not talking about glass walls anymore. Oh, yes, we are. I love the shape of this roof line. Very mid-century. This is Glendale. Not sure it was built. I'm going to guess this is probably about 1961. Feldman's Appliances. They sell Frigidaire, Hot Point, RC Victor, and Servel. And you can see right in there, and you can see the refrigerators, the washers, the dryers, and over on the far right, television sets. You can barely see them, but those are the television sets that, like when television sets thought they had to be pieces of furniture, which reminds me to tell you, I have an art show coming up in San Diego, Palm Springs, the Saturday night after Thanksgiving, my first ever art show. I'm showing off all my paintings and they'll be available for sale. All my television portrait paintings that I did that reflect all the styles of the furniture in those days, the TV styles of the early 60s, right when this postcard was done. So anyway, this building actually still stands. It is a dollar store. Here is Lloyd's of Long Beach, a big giant furniture store. Back in the day where it was very typical for a furniture store front to be divided into living room sets. So when you would drive down the street, you'd look in and there'd be all the different living room styles of furniture. But that's not what I love about this postcard. I do love it, but, of course I love it. But what I love the most, you guys, is not only does it tell you the city that you're in case you don't know where you are, it has a giant painter palette and 2 brushes. I don't know about you, but I love a painter palette motif so much. Speaking of painter palette, speaking of paintings, Forest Lawn Glendale has one of the largest paintings on display in the known universe. It is the story of the crucifixion of Christ. It was painted and still there right now. It has been on display at Forest Lawn Glendale since 1951. Anyway, if you go there, you sit down in this giant auditorium and they have a show that plays. It's 19 minutes long. And it tells you the whole story of the painting and the epic story of the artist and the painting of the painting. It was painted like the late 1880s. And it was on display in the St. Louis Fair of 1904, the World's Fair there. And then it was lost for decades until Mr. Forest Lawn Man said, I will find that painting. And he found it. And after it was lost, it was, well, I'm not going to tell you. You have to go there and hear the story. It's an amazing story of this amazing painting, one of the world's largest paintings. Oh, I have to have a drink of water. Oh, did I just spill? I think I did. Okay. Woo. Oh, I know. So yeah, Forest Lawn Glendale, look it up. The world's largest painting, well, actually not the world's, one of the largest world's painting is 95 feet wide, you guys. It's massive. It is absolutely a unique attraction. It is open daily to the public. It is free, F-R-E-E. You can go there. I highly recommend that you do. Oh, you wanted a photo mural in black and white of Paris, Café des Champs-Élysées. This is the bar at Robert's restaurant. Robert's French restaurant was there probably from about 1950 to the early 1980s. And I don't know about you, but I love a giant photo mural. One of my friends borrowed one of my slides once and had it blown up. It was a swimming pool scene and blew up on his big wall in his loft downtown. It was spectacular. Anyway, but I will tell you that you know what I also love, the tuck and roll and that pale coral and that pale blue paired with that bright, saturated, very beautiful, bright, gorgeous, warm pink of the upholstered on the rounds of those stools with those flared, like very warm colored wooden legs with the brass tips and brass round for you to rest the bottoms of your beautiful shoes on. Those 2 guys sitting there striking a pose. There's nothing to it. Speaking of French restaurants, this is Marcel and Jean's restaurant, the French Cafe in Montebello. Looks like it started as an old house. The house looks like it's from the 20s. I bet they opened the restaurant after the war, late 40s, and then they added on that side building. It might even be earlier. But anyway, this was out of business but still standing when I discovered it in the 1990s. The building, everything was still there. The big sign was off of it, and the signage that says Marcel and Jean's, but that building was there, and the house was still there. And here's what I remember. Where it says Jean there, and you see that awning. So when you stepped into the door there, that banquet hall, there was glass, like a giant glass block that you stepped over, and it was thick, like, glass blocks, only it was a big giant one. And underneath it, it said welcome in blue neon. I mean, it was like a neon mat, a neon, you stepped over the neon saying welcome under glass. I mean, it was unbelievable. And then the other thing is that little, that neon Eiffel Tower that's there. It was, it was still there. It was probably 4 feet tall. And you know what? I went back like a few times just to kind of, take in the glory of this place and just kind of bask in the richness of it all, the remains of it all. And then I found out, well, I noticed the Eiffel Tower was gone. I'm like, what happened to it? And one of the neighbor people said somebody stole it. So it's out there somewhere. So if you see like a 4-foot tall neon Eiffel Tower that has some age to it, this is where it came from. I love this beautiful Scandinavian restaurant in Santa Barbara. It's called the Sweet House Restaurant. This is most likely the early 1960s. I love that big boat on the wall. I love the stacks of plate. I love the flower arrangement. I love the way the buffet. I know, it's like you don't even see salad bars anymore, do you? Let alone a buffet. I mean, I guess, well, there are buffets still, but who's going? Anyway, but you know why I included this? Not for the way they painted the brick, where the area where you check in and pay your bill there with that cash register, but on the wall is a postcard display. I mean, rare is a postcard that has a postcard display in it. So I wanted you to have that moment to see what it was like. The Pacific Sands may not have been a postcard on that rack because it was in Santa Barbara. Santa Monica, Santa Barbara, Santa Monica. Hey, I didn't even realize. We got a lot of Santas in California, don't we? Santa Ana, I know. Santa Clarita, I know. A lot of Santas. Anyway, overlooking the blue Pacific is what it said on the back of this architectural illustration of the Pacific Sands Motel, built in about 1958. And this was still there up until like 15 years ago. And it looked exactly like this. That Pacific Sands script there, very boxy, handwritten in a boxy way. I mean, you never see a script signage so boxy. So I wanted you to enjoy that. Just also the art of an architectural rendering is so beautiful. Speaking of Santa Monica, yes, this is where Lawrence Welk really blossomed. Lawrence Welk was a big band leader who had a troupe of entertainers and a big giant orchestra. And boy, oh boy, did he put on a weekly show on television for a very long time. Probably started when? In the early 50s or maybe the mid 50s and lasted until the early 80s. Nearly 40 years, or is that 30 years? Yeah, about 30 something years. Anyway, plus I wanted to show you because don't you love that swaggy swag of the drapes with the fringe? Also the pinkness of it all, the blueness of it all, the beauty of it all, and the champagne music. It says musically yours, Lawrence Welk and a champagne music maker, sponsored by, I don't know why they don't have the big banner there. Usually it says Dodge or Plymouth. So here is a Dodge, and that is Lawrence Welk inviting you to test drive the 1961 Dodge Dart. What they are not telling you about this car is the model name. It is the Dodge Dart Phoenix. Yes, I should have one of these. I've never had a 1961 Dodge Dart Phoenix, only a 1960. But I will tell you, this car is very outer space age. You can kind of tell here. But don't you love it in red, by the way? Lipstick red? I know. But what I was going to say is that this is the only car that has a reverse fin on it. You kind of can't see, but there's that arrow on the door. Follow it back. It rounds around the rear fender and comes back up. I mean, it's not a very tall reverse fin, but it is literally a reverse fin. You can kind of see it there above the rear wheel. It kind of leans out a little bit. I know. He probably bought it here. This is Claude Short Dodge, the big Dodge dealership in Santa Monica for decades. I'll never forget, I answered before Craigslist, we had the recycler, and I was always buying and selling classic cars and in the 80s and 90s. And anyway, it was in the 90s, I was looking at the ads for classic cars in the recycler, and it said 1963 Dodge 880, 22,000 miles. I went over there, a little old lady, I bought the car, drove it for, 3 years until I totaled it. The only car I ever totaled. Sad, I know. I was fine. The other driver was fine too. It was fine. But anyway, it was traumatic. But anyway, what I wanted to tell you about it was, what was I going to tell you about it? Anyway, that's all. I found a car. I drove a car from Claude Short Dodge. Yeah, the one that I totaled. Anyway, I don't think Claude Short Dodge is there anymore. This is a Dodge right here, a 1956 Dodge, downtown Pomona, 2nd Street. And what's unique about this street is not the Woolworths. That was almost in every town in the United States. There are a million Woolworths. On your right side, you can see a little bit of the Thrifties, discount drugs, Thrifties. It used to be like a chain of drugstores, general stores, really. Before we get to, picture this, but we're going to see a dress shop, you guys. I love postcards of like dress shops and stuff. They're so rare. Alfred Gray of Pomona, it says it right there. Very poised, proper, and civilized, isn't it? I know. I love the fact that somebody broke in the night before and stole 3 of the mannequins and left a basket of flowers. That was very kind. But anyway, this is from the day, and I can barely remember when I was a little kid, my grandmother took me shopping with her once, and it was an experience just like this, where back in, up until like even the mid 60s, there were many stores, many women's dress shops and stuff, and maybe men's stores as well, where you would go in and kind of sit down and you would tell them what you wanted. Yeah, you'd sit down in those 2 chairs back there, and they'd bring out dresses. They'd go pull it from the rack and go, well, how about this one? Oh no, you wanted something in a little, longer sleeve or something. Well, how about this one? And they would do that. I mean, talk about service. It's unbelievable. And oh yeah, the lady on the left there has a Stone Martin. That's like a whole fox that's been de-gutted and deboned, and all you're left with is the fur, including the face, the legs, the claws, and the tail. I know, that is like something fashionable that ladies in the early 50s wore, in the 40s, and probably the 30s, wore around their necks. But anyway, we can't talk about that. But anyway, so what I was going to say is that downtown Pomona, you saw it a minute ago, in the 50s. Here it is in 1962. It got a dramatic pedestrian mall makeover. The first pedestrian mall happened in, there was urban revitalization, even back then, happened in Miami Beach, the Lincoln Road Mall. That was 1960. But in 1962, downtown Pomona was the first downtown in Southern California to follow the Lincoln Road example of revitalization. And they closed 9 blocks of the street to through traffic, and you'd walk up and down it. I remember going there, and a lot of it is still there. Some of it is still there. These rock formations are still there. There's some sculptures, some mosaics, and it was designed by Millard Sheets. And if you don't know that name, look him up. We can't talk about him right now because there's just too much, including the Santa Monica Promenade followed suit in 1965, the 3rd Street Promenade. It is still closed off through traffic. It's the only one left. They did it in Riverside. I think Riverside is still closed off. Burbank did it. So Riverside and Santa Monica are the only 2 pedestrian mall makeovers that took a retail corridor and closed it off to through traffic. So here is a fountain that is no longer there. Don't you guys love that Tom McCann sign there? That kind of freeform backsplash. And the word Tony, the name of that, is probably a very fancy dress shop, I know. But the promenade still is there. Did I just say that? The Riverside Plaza. I just love this 4-posted sign. That word plaza, the font skewered like a shish kebab, hopefully never flaming. Those lights overlooking to light that Riverside word up that's already in neon and yellow neon, and that star is the crowning touch. I love the Harris department store there. I love the big 1950s department stores. And don't you love that band of yellow that kind of pulls you in out of the parking lot? And that little yellow DKW car, that's a little German car there. You never see those. They are so rare. And don't you love, I'll admit it. I have always had a wandering eye for European and Japanese cars. But anyway, that's an adorable one right there. And the lady's standing there with her big bag. I know. Lakewood Center, whoa! This sign is on point. This is mid-century modern. It's got flair, it's got dare, it's got come hither. It does indeed, yes. The Lakewood Mall was the first mall in Southern California, wasn't it? One of them. Anyway, the first real suburban mall that was surrounded by parking. And here is the centerpiece and the crowning touch. That is the May Company department store. May Company was a big, giant department store that started in downtown Los Angeles in the year of 1922. It has an American flag as the crowning touch, and right by that American flag, a little lookout tower for some, 2 or 3 people. It's like a control tower, you guys. I know, just to keep your eye out on the parking lot and everything. I wonder if they noticed that 41 Buick there is missing a wheel cover, therefore revealing the very exciting lipstick red wheel. I know, don't you love that 2-tone paint job? Don't you love that fastback? Don't you love the fact that it's between a 1950 Dodge and a 1952, or is that a 53, Oldsmobile in lipstick red? I know. Anyway, this May Company store is still there as a Macy's. I feel like going in there because I have a feeling it's only the ground floor. This was a massive, massive store. This was, by the way, this store was the centerpiece of the entire development of the city of Lakewood. Speaking of Lakewood, Pan American Day started in 1946. This is a tradition of friendship and sharing cultures that still happens in Lakewood every single year. Sponsored by then, I'm not sure still, but the Lions Club. And I don't know about you, but I love anywhere where there's a lot of flag flying and a lot of flags going around, especially when they are multicultural flags from different countries. I love flags, don't you? I know. And of course, yeah, they're wearing peasant skirts, a very, very popular style in the 1940s and 50s, and came back in the 70s, didn't they? I know. This is Eastland Shopping Center, West Covina, built in 1957. This is the middle of the mall there, an outdoor mall. Back then, the malls were not enclosed yet. The first enclosed mall built in Southern California, gosh, might have been about 1968. I do hereby declare. And it might have been the Montclair Plaza, the plaza that I grew up with, the mall. They went through a time of calling them plazas. But anyway, there is a stained glass sign there. Here it is at Eastland Shopping Center. And I don't know about you, but I absolutely find it spellbinding, hypnotizing, and mesmerizing. I do remember it as a child. It was gorgeous. And I love how they continue the stained glass and kind of erect or set modern motif there over certain parts of that mall. And behind that woman that's standing there posing for us, it's got to be Easter, because that is a giant Easter egg, because I looked through my loop. But anyway, the tower is still there, but they took the stained glass off and re-signed it. But it's still called Eastland, but it doesn't resemble this at all anymore. So Clifton's Cafeteria, you know Clifton's from downtown LA on Broadway. This was the Clifton's that we went to when I was a child, and it was always spectacular. And I don't know about you, but I love the way it says Clifton's, well, I mean the way it says Cafeteria. Spelled out there, very California casual. I'm not going to say whose handwriting, but you already know. It's so nice they put it there twice for us. This is the original Clifton's Cafeteria in downtown Los Angeles, built in the year of 1935. Yes, it is a radically themed environmental extravaganza. Miraculously, though the cafeteria part is gone, it now still stands as a nightclub. If you can get in the door, go on their website, Clifton's. Find out when it's open. I mean, this is an institution in Los Angeles that might not have survived in any form, but luckily for us, it did. And you can see the guy coming out of the blue pants there carrying a tray of food. And it's a lot. It is absolutely a lot. The Clifford Clinton family was a very benevolent family. It was dine free unless delighted. And before they had a cafeteria, they were missionaries, and it was just a very, very, very incredible, special story, a big part of downtown history, and there's a lot there. So if you ever want to go down a rabbit hole of an interesting story, click on the Clifford Clinton story, Clifton's Cafeterias. There were several cafeterias. Anyway, none of them are left, but this one still stands as Clifton's nightclub. So this is not the sorry. I better calm down for a minute. This is not Clifton's Cafeteria. This is the Entre Cafeteria, which was a long gone chain, but I just wanted you to see how glorious a tray full of cafeteria food looked in the 1950s. That salad has a pickled beet with a ruffle cutter, a slice of bell pepper. I love those tri-sided, beautiful, gorgeous tomatoes, mashed potatoes with a sprig of, what is that in there? It wouldn't be mint. Is that on the plate? Some mystery square of something? Maybe scallop potatoes, but then why would they have mashed potatoes? That roast bird. I know. And just one giant piece. They did not bother to chop it up for you. Looks like, I don't know, broccoli stems. I love 2 round rolls and 1 long roll covered with sesame seed, a double pat of butter in its own little dish, a triple layer cake. Gorgeous, isn't that? I know. You don't see cakes in that shape anymore. And how much do you love the restaurant china? That pink rimmed saucer, that little hot water pitcher, hot water pot, and the cup that really wants to be intimate with it. I know. Absolutely love it. I love Welch's. Welch's was one of the most mid-century modern restaurants ever built in Southern California, built in 1948, Long Beach, California. unfortunately long, long gone, but this was a garden restaurant. Look, it even has a front lawn. It has tropical plantings inside and out, on beyond, inside of that slanted glass wall. I mean, there's nothing more mid-century than, as I said, a glass wall. But when it's slanted, that is the ultimate expression of a mid-century glass wall. A slanted glass wall, and this has it. You walk in the door there, and you walk down, you promenade down for everyone in the restaurant to see you, this row of your, kind of half hidden by this row of plants there. I love the way Welch's is spelled out on the round corner of the building there, which, by the way, was a salad bar inside. You can't see it, but that's kind of a free-form neon on the round, a free-form neon like palm tree. And there's that red bit of neon in there is a lobster. Don't you love that? I know. Almost as much. Well, I love that more than I love this, but I love this so much I had to share it with you. The Shalon restaurant in Inglewood. I love just the patio, again, California casual, patio style dining. This is a restaurant dining room. This is car service. Car service twice, drive-in twice. They really want you to know. They will serve you in your car. Once you pull in under that porte cochere there, or that awning that you drive under there, very patio, the V-beams, all the plantings and everything, absolutely incredible. And then you drive in and the wall of the roof line there is kind of free form, and it lists all the things they have there, like, restaurant, coffee shop, and the other color of neon spelled out for your pleasure and mine. Oh, you wanted to keep driving? Fine. How about all the way to Glendora on Route 66, the Supreme Farms I almost said milk in dairy. I forgot the word drive there, didn't I? Milk, drive-in, dairy, save. So they want you to know you are going to save there. Yeah, you're going to save your soul because you're beholding the glory of that beautiful golden brown cow all the way up there on top of that on top of that sign. Speaking of the roof line, that butterfly roof, this again is brick, and really pushes it into being total, like California casual Sunset Magazine style. That brick there when you pull in between the Oldsmobile and the Pontiac convertible there's a planter there to greet you. It's very patio style. Southern California is a very indoor-outdoor fair weather. It is the architecture of fair weather. We've seen it over and over and over. And don't you love, those diamonds leading you all the way up there? I'm sorry, I'm going on about that cow. Fine, where there's a cow, there should be a farmer. There he is right now, a fruit and vegetable farmer. He, at the time, this is, by the way, Linwood, California, food giant, 1955. It says where every penny counts in green neon there. This is a giant supermarket. And they claimed that big farmer there was the biggest backlit piece of plastic in all of Southern California. And I don't know about you, but I love it. I love it, love it, love it. And I know you do too. I know you do. Almost as much as you love, every detail of this whole thing. It's so avant-garde. It's so simple. It's so form follows function. And I love the fact that orange neon behind those stand-away letters really glow on that darker orange wall there that they put them on. And that's like a sign on fire. Isn't it gorgeous? I know. Long Beach, California, there is the beach. It's long. That's why they call it Long Beach. And down below you see the Pike. This is the midway area at the Pike. And there's where you will find the Lido Ballroom, the Strand. This picture looks like this is early 1950s. The Pike was our Coney Island of Long Beach, no longer there. Actually, that building in the background, which is where all the Pike offices were and other offices, that white one with the Spanish tower there, with the Spanish tile roof tower, that building is still there. But the rest of all this is gone, 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 and has been gone for a very long time, since the late 60s, well, actually the late 70s. But anyway, there is a piece of it that still exists in North Long Beach, Light-A-Line. That is a game of chance, really gambling, a game of chance where you can go and see a lot of Pike memorabilia. Loof's Light-A-Line, look it up. You can go there right now and you can play a game, the game of chance, which was invented here at the Pike in 1941, and it still exists in Long Beach. I love to look through the layers of time. I love to find the strains of the eras. I love to do the connect the dots. I love to put the puzzle pieces of history together. I have to shift Well, I wasn't going to say it. Well, I was going to say it. Well, I wasn't going to say it. I just have to. Anyway, this chair is getting very hard. Are you okay? You can take a break, but I can't. But anyway, what I was going to say is, I think I may have mentioned this before, but at the Pike, the one thing that's still standing at the Pike, that was at the Pike, is my favorite tattoo parlor, even though I don't have tattoos yet. But my favorite tattoo parlor is called Outer Limits. It's the oldest tattoo parlor in the United States, and it is there on site at the Pike. Well, the Pike isn't there, but it is there where it was and is still there, and it is truly spectacular. It's a tattoo museum and a tattoo parlor all in one. You can go there. They will give you the royal tour, and they're lovely, happy, peppy people. Oh dear, excuse me. Compton, Angelus Abbey. Excuse me. Live TV, you guys, or whatever this is. This isn't TV, is it? Or is it? Angelus Abbey has been there since the 1920s. It is a cemetery and a mausoleum. There are two castle-like structures that are there to this day. This building is still there. I mean, this is one of the most unique, exotic, unusual, themed buildings in Southern California that nobody knows about. I mean, do you ever go around to like cemeteries and stuff? Cemeteries are in their own wonderland of their own self. We already talked about Forest Lawn. You got to go to Forest Lawn if you haven't been there. I mean, that is a trip. Cemeteries are a thing. And this is one of the most interesting cemeteries, Angelus Abbey. So not this castle-like building, but the other one. I used to go there, I went there a few times like in the 90s. And anyway, they would let you walk right in the door then. I don't know if you can now. But you probably can get in. But anyway, I'll never forget there was this one crypt that the woman's name, it was Bliss, first name, N, middle initial, Pixley. Bliss N. Pixley. And she was like at eye level as I was walking around, her crypt or whatever. And it just struck me. It's like Bliss N. Pixley. You have your place, you have your space. I mean, in this wall. It's just, it's like, wow. I mean, and I never forgot her name, Bliss N. Pixley. Who was she? Bliss N. Pixley. She is look-upable, and I've never looked her up. Speaking of looking up, you can't look this up. Well, actually you could, but you can't go there. This is Hollywood Park with 3 American flags as the crowning touch. Hollywood Park, built in the year of 1938. This is a fantastic example of streamlined modern. This was a racetrack, horse racing. I went there once, probably about 15 years ago, just before they were about to bulldoze it. And it was an experience like I've never had anywhere or whatever. I barely even remember the horse racing. But what I do remember is, there weren't many people there. I mean, horse racing is not as popular as it used to be. Let's face it. And thank goodness. So what I remember though is that I was sitting in one section, and maybe not the clubhouse section, but I could see into the clubhouse section, and I saw like the waiters serving people food, and this all of a sudden came out this waiter with a tray, with a bowl, a fruit bowl. It was a fruit salad, and it had like a pineapple top and like big pieces of melon, and it was colorful and gorgeous, and he was carrying it like this. And then my waiter came up. He said, "What would you like?" And I said, "I'll have what they're having over there." So he brought me that same fruit salad. It was gorgeous. Gosh, that makes me want to have company and serve a fruit salad that is really a work of art. Wouldn't that be wonderful? It really would. Speaking of horse racing, Del Mar Racetrack, yes, since the 1930s also. And this is part of the clubhouse area there. And again, we see linoleum flooring rounding around, giving way to gorgeous wall-to-wall carpeting. Well, not quite wall. We've got an edge of linoleum there. I love those little living room areas there for a little convivial conversation. And should you enjoy the red lampshades matching those both ladies wearing red. And that medium blue that we've seen quite a bit of today. But let's talk about those chandeliers, those very mid-century modern bent bikini lamps. Those are bikini lamps. When the lamp goes like this, that is a bikini lamp. But these are bent bikini lamps. And I've never seen them like that. Those are spellbinding, aren't they? I know. Speaking of racetracks, here's Santa Anita Art Deco in Arcadia since 1934. Still going strong, still existing, still there. Looks virtually almost just like this now. And you know what? You can go there and have a tour. If you want to go through the layers of time, and if you want to see a historic place that may not be there that much longer, definitely go and take the tour of Santa Anita. I mean, why not? It is there. This is not there, unfortunately. But I don't know how we go from that to this. Oh, I know. I was going to say, in case you win a lot of money there at the horse races, you're going to need a place to put it. Unfortunately, it's not going to be this bank. But don't you love World Savings in Linwood? Built in probably, I'm going to guess, about 1959 or 60. Judging by every detail of it, the lavender, the map, the scale of that signboard is absolutely enormous. 4.995 percentage there. And of course, that medium blue, that metal grill is so mid-century modern. Where do we begin? I know, and the fact that the raised planter around it, it's very sophisticated. It's really quite lovely. Oh, shoot. Sorry, I had to bounce around a little bit again. Anyway, I know, I just love it, but it is no longer there, gone. This postcard has always killed me. One of the first I ever collected, Sky Villa and Pico Rivera. I mean, this is the absolute epitome of mid-century modern. Googie style mid-century modern. White rock roof. The flare there at the entrance of the Villa Inn, that must have been the restaurant and the bar. I love the car that's pulled up there, a convertible with fins, like a golden yellow with a red interior. I love the fountain out front. There's people standing there. And of course, is that a big globe that says Sky Villa? How genius is that? I really don't know I've never seen a real photo of the Sky Villa, but it definitely exists and was definitely built in 1958. I love this is in Anaheim. This is the Modern Air. Don't you love anything blank air at the end of it with an E? I know. The Modern Air. Again, this is very late 1950s, very Googie style, very California casual. That, well, mid-century meets like the Jetsons, all that rock wall and everything. I love the rounded area of that. It's got to be the lobby area, of course. Very, very mid-century to have the arch building there. I mean, you don't see a lot of it anymore. It's mostly gone, but there are some places. And just, the architectural rendering, making it look like there's nothing else around. The swimming pool, the people at the pool, the cars up front, and of course, the sign with the arrow, not to mention a sparkling star high atop, probably winking and blinking at the motorists as they drive down the street. Stay here, stay here, stay here. You want out of this world? Fine. How about we go to Stovall's Space Age Inn? Yes, Stovall had a couple of hotels or motels in Anaheim, and they were all space themed. One still exists. The space theme has been completely removed, but we can bask in the glory of what it used to be like right here. I love everything about it. I love that weird metal tubular sculpture around the base of the sign. I love the little guy on the sign there. You see him again on the left side of the porte cochere near the Volkswagen van with a rocket ship on it. How much do you love a Volkswagen van with a rocket ship on it? I know. And then those moon rocks at the base of the porte cochere there, the accordion roof line of the porte cochere, and that giant big like satellite sitting right up there at the corner to catch your eye. Almost as eye-catching as that crown, that winking and blinking crown high atop the Best Western Motel sign there that takes care of their reservation system for a fee. And there it does, it says on the sign, moon level luxury, down to earth prices. I know. So you guys, by the way, I want to tell you that I'm going to be riding in the Anaheim Halloween Parade this coming Saturday before Halloween, and I'm going to be riding in Stovall's Martian Mobile, which you do not see pictured here, but they had it would take you to and from Disneyland, since it's right across the street from Disneyland, and it's the most adorable thing. It's like a little kind of a little tour bus had a baby with a Martian, and they recreated it, and I'm going to be riding on it, waving to everybody. I can't wait. It's going to be so much fun. The 100th annual Anaheim Halloween Parade, the Saturday before Thanksgiving. You can look it up online. We're not going to talk about postcards without talking about postcards at Disneyland, but of course there were so many, so I had to consolidate. So I chose this one because, of course, it has the castle, and that castle, 1955, anticipated built, and it's a centerpiece and crowning touch of Disneyland. Built in 1955, was their opening day in 1955, anticipating the 1959 animated classic by Walt Disney, Sleeping Beauty. Yes, it is Sleeping Beauty's castle, of course, the Mark Twain. You gotta love that. And when you ride on it, make sure you ask the captain of the ship if you can actually drive it, and they might let you upstairs and do the ship wheel. And then, of course, the new Tomorrowland of 1967. When I was a child, there was no question in my mind it was the greatest place in the whole wide world that you could ever hope to be. And then, of course, the Jungle Cruise, again, one of the early attractions at Disneyland, and a time-honored experiential extravaganza of the highest order. But you know what I love about this postcard more than anything is the font. That Disneyland, that classic old English Disneyland font. And you know what I remember about this font? It was also like exactly in this style on the side of the hotel and way up high. And when I was a little kid, well, until I could drive, every time we went to Disneyland, as we drove away at night, I would turn around and look at that sign way up high on the hotel and, just savor the beauty of it as we drove away. And finally it would not be, in sight anymore, and we would be out of the vicinity of Disneyland, back to reality. But I held on to Disneyland as far as I could see it through the back window of the car. I know. And I love this postcard because it has three of our favorite attractions: the TWA rocket to the moon, which was there from 1955 to 1962. And it has the buckets, the Skyway. Those were the original buckets. They were round. They were there until 1964. And of course, these are indeed the original Autopia cars. Autopia is one of our favorite attractions at Disneyland. And I can remember before I was even tall enough to ride this. But I will tell you, I'm getting a little choked up even thinking about it. I mean, seriously, this is where I learned to drive. And if you grew up in Southern California, I mean, when you turned 15 and a half and you got behind the wheel of your parents' car for the first time, actually, I got behind the wheel of my parents' car way before that. I was driving up and down the driveway when I was about 11. But anyway, I don't know why they didn't stop me. But anyway, I guess, I was out of the house. But anyway, this is where we learned to drive. I mean, you literally learn to drive a car to, this way, braking, gassing, all that stuff at Disneyland on Autopia. Here is Monsanto's Hall of Chemistry. Yes, in the original Tomorrowland of 1955. I love that kind of rich purple lighting. I love the atomic symbol in the blue there. Don't you love an atomic symbol? Not to mention the Hall of Chemistry written out so beautifully in whose handwriting. And don't you love those big round circles? Who did that? Color Theory. And the cherry on top of it all, Monsanto branding it all, because this is their exhibit inside. That big hand has always just killed me. I know. This postcard, I've loved it, where creative chemistry works wonders for you. This was an exhibit, something like you'd see at a World's Fair or a fair, of all the wondrous ways that Monsanto's chemicals, I can't even say it, were going to improve the quality of our lives. Yes, indeed. And then this gave way in the 1960s to Adventures Through Inner Space. But before we got that, you'd round the corner and down the corridor, you'd see the Kaiser exhibit, Kaiser Steel exhibit, and this is the Kaiser Aluminum Man. And they're entertaining some children there, those two little girls wearing the same dress. Three ruffled tiers there of a skirt, a cap sleeve of the same ruffle, and a pink bodice of broadcloth. But we're not talking about that right now. You can barely see, but he has a bubble. This Mr. Kaiser Aluminum Man has a plastic bubble around his head, and that is an antenna coming out of the top. Where do we begin to behold the glory? I know. How about right here at the LA International Airport, where the big jet engines roar? Yes, ladies and gentlemen, from the control tower there at LAX, you see the centerpiece, the crowning touch, one of the great mid-century modern buildings in the known universe. That is the theme building. Behold the glory of its exquisite span of those, spans. I know, and right in the middle of it, you can barely see it there, but look, that dark stripe there, floating above it all there is this restaurant. Yes, indeed, the restaurant in the theme building. And again, we see the ultimate expression of floor-to-ceiling glass there, slanted. This is a mid-century modern masterpiece. And, you know, funny though, we didn't really realize that the decor was very subdued, very mid-century, but very subdued. Black Formica tabletops, those black, very mid-century, look like Saarinen chairs, timeless classics. And that, I love the air conditioning duct up there, those light ducts up there, those can lights. Must be a speaker there as well. I know, so space age. It's gotta be stucco. Cottage cheese ceiling. I know, why people hate cottage cheese ceiling so much, I will never know. It's rare to find one now, especially with glitter. We've already talked about that. But in the background there, right across the parking lot, you see the control tower that was built in 1958. And a better look now, here we are. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, that crossover, wowee, zowee span of architecture like few buildings have ever known, seen, or will ever, have ever, or could ever. This is wrapped up in that breeze block round of a wall below it. This is a spectacular, glorious sense of local pride here in Southern California. Currently, we might as well get it out in the open. It's all but covered up with giant parking garages and whatever, but you can see it in the middle of LAX. And I will tell you, for those of us who live in Los Angeles or Southern California, when you are flying in and you see that theme building there in the middle of the airport, it says you are home. And for those of you who do not live in Los Angeles and you see it when you fly in, I will tell you that it says to you, welcome to Los Angeles. Before we go, this is my hometown of Ontario, California, Euclid Avenue. I remember it looking just like this when I was a little kid, even though I was a little kid after this picture was taken. But Burgers restaurant was still there on the corner. The Rexall drugstore, Newton's was a stationery store. And that big F, you can kind of see it there, a giant signage. Phallus's department store. That was the biggest signage in all of downtown Los Angeles. So big you can even see it behind those little trees. I'll never forget the time when we were parked downtown there, parallel parked on Euclid Avenue, and two cars boxed my mother's Rambler in so tight that she could not get out. So without hitting the cars, and she didn't want to do that. So she said, I know what we're doing. We're going to have to wait for these people. One of them to get back to their car and move so we can get out of here. But we're not going to sit in the car. We're going to go have ice cream. And indeed we did. We went to the soda fountain at Gimmel's drugstore and had an ice cream cone. One of the many fond memories I have of childhood growing up in Ontario, California. And yes, ladies and gentlemen, that concludes Postcardland. Greetings from Southern California. I want to say thank you so much for joining me. It is my pleasure to have you along for the ride, and quite a ride it was. Those postcards, they do not disappoint. Behold the glory of you being here, and thank you again for your support, and I can't wait until we do it again. I'll see you guys later. Okay, bye-bye.